So continuing on, I wanted to ask you guys if your character magically fell through a time portal of some sort and ended up in like present day situations.
Oh shit.
What job do you think your character would pick up? Considering that obviously adventuring would not be one of the jobs available now.
Is she already? Are our characters already like adapted to the world, or are they like still?
Oh no, you're gonna be culture shocked.
Okay.
You're gonna be confused as shit.
I think mine's fairly obvious.
Gabriella, New York. Gabriella, Black.
Well, you have
City.
options. Well, you have options. You could be a baker. You could be a farmer. I mean, like, there's probably another option. I mean, I'm assuming that farming would be a pretty difficult one to get into, but also you need money to become a baker or something, and certificates, probably? I don't know.
I feel like Rosalind would be able to just pass as Amish, and she'd be like, "I'm here."
Oh jeez. You hate me, don't you? That's why you suggested that. You hate me.
Jesus. Oh my gosh. Anyways.
I would probably be a hunter.
Or the hunted.
Like wilderness survival nature guide.
Bear Grylls!
or just like a nature guide for like hikes and stuff or something.
My name's Hana, and here's how you survive in the wild. I'm sorry.
Or I would be a the wilderness scout people that just like go around and make sure like things aren't lit on fire.
You lead the Girl Scouts. Honestly,
you'd be like a park ranger.
Like a park ranger, but
I'd range the shit out of that park. Oh my god.
Would this world be hostile towards like non-humans, or is it like?
No, it's all incorporated.
I feel like this world.
Kind of like it's 2021. Oh well.
Okay, so I feel like if we just randomly appeared in a world, like in present day world, they'd just be like, "Oh, that's a random group of cosplayers on the street."
Oh yeah, that would.
I am a goblin. Or fairy.
And it's like reversed.
Same thing.
Got reincarnated as a slime.
Yeah, and you're just like, there's medieval cosplayers in the street.
I think Gabriella would actually randomly work at a coffee shop, but also just be like the worst employee. She can't do anything right.
It's like Rachel from Friends.
Yes, absolutely. She is Rachel from Friends. That's one of the baseline characters.
I love it. I love it so much. We're learning a lot about Gabriella right now.
I ordered bread. Yeah, we're out of bread. I'm so sorry.
This is her talking to herself on her order. What about Galax?
Ordered her own food and she got it.
I was thinking about this for a little while, like literally from the second you asked, because I was thinking, right, hear me out. Galax would he would get arrested, like, come on, criminal, right? So he'd get that out the way nice and quick, so that would just happen, yeah. But then everyone would realize how good of an actor he is, and he would be hired by Disney so that he could be Sully in the real life action of Monsters Inc.
Oh, I was gonna. Oh my god, and you would, and my story for you would still work. I feel like you'd have also joined an a cappella group.
What? There's no acapella in Monsters Inc.
I can be Boo.
It can be.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's run that back to Kyo a bit.
Hana is Boo.
The 6'2" Boo.
No, Hana's not 6'2".
What?
Just say Hana.
Hana's like 2 foot tall or something.
An actor that can play Boo, and
Sorry, I just put real life Kyo in like modern day settings. All right, let me just.
No, Hana's like barely at the kneecaps. How tall is Hana? 4 foot?
I am
1?
3 foot 6.
3'6".
Side note: if that was like if Monsters Inc. had occurred as against Hana, she has a fucking gun. What kind of monster is Boo!
Yeah.
Holy shit! What happened? I got shot. You scared the kid.
2319! 2319! We're losing him!
This kid's loaded, man.
Oh my
Galax
god.
would become a self-sustained and entertainer through acting because he looks like an idiot, essentially.
I feel like Gabriella would be good at bartending, though. She'd quit her job.
Ugh. You know what? I've been having that one in my back pocket for a while since you brought up bartending. What do you think the main drink is that your character would order when you go to a bar?
Ooh.
Water.
Ooh. Wet.
I would like the wet in a cup,
something-
please.
Probably something fizzy and citrusy.
Ooh, like a gin fizz.
A mimosa.
Mimosa. Actually, you know what? Mimosas would be great with the pancakes that she's eating. Wait, is Hana old enough to drink?
Hana's like 40, I'm pretty sure, or something like that.
Oh wait, I forgot. Galax is the youngest of us.
Yeah, Galax is like, what, 18?
20.
He's just acting out.
Hold on, 20.
He matured, Corks mature very fast.
Yes, I know. I remember. I just can't remember my age.
But yeah, Galax is the youngest out of you guys. Anyways, what would you order, Gabriella? What's the
What would
top
I
shelf
order?
wine you guys have?
You need the most
Oh,
expensive
I'm
thing
not.
off the
48.
shelf.
I don't know where you're getting that from. I'm 48.
I still think you're the youngest, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Pretty sure.
I mean,
That's
we're
the left
coming
hand.
out.
800 years old.
Yeah,
I'm the oldest. so-
I had a flashback to the auction. I got sticky fingers!
Oh my god.
I think Gabriella would definitely order like a cosmopolitan. She's a
Oh my-
she's a Cosmo girl.
Alright. What about you, Rosalind?
Don't you snide at me,
If
Kia.
my knowledge of drinks is limited to like 5 drinks.
Which of those 5s do you think Rosalind would like?
Holy wine.
It would probably be wine at this point, because that's about it. Because I know rum and coke, gin and tonic. I know like daiquiris, wine.
Margaritas.
They keep lemonade at the bar for some reason.
Yeah, it's so that they can.
It's mixer.
Yeah.
Okay, because every time I'm like, I want lemonade, and they're like, I have to go to the bar for that. I'm like, okay.
Lemonade's alcoholic now. Oh my
They
god.
do make alcoholic lemonade. There's like Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I'm not a
big
I
fan.
cannot taste it.
Yo!
I cannot taste the alcohol on that. I have this one
100% wine coolers would be Gabriella, I feel like.
time. Yes, it would. Oh, no. Her actual job, she would get a TV show as a Real Housewife.
Oh my god.
That I could see. That I could
I'm
actually.
fucking wrong. It's like,
Oh
so,
my god.
Gabriella, we saw a little Macy, like, like talking with some other guy, and I know she's dating my son Robin. It's like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about, darling. And what Macy does is her own business.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
you can
I feel like you have watched a lot of Housewives now.
I have not actually seen a single episode of The House.
I haven't seen one either. Like,
I'm
it's just...
I'm just going on based on
Wish
how
I
people
wouldn't
act.
have, but
Stop. Oh my gosh. Galax, what would you drink at a bar?
Sidebar, just quickly, because everyone else does sidebar, so I want to sidebar. Going back to the lemonade thing, right? Do you guys, so in England, right, if someone's like off their tits, right, like drunk, so it's
Yeah,
typically on top
obviously
of
off the tits, yeah.
Yeah. And like they're not functioning. Do you get them a Sprite? Because for some reason in England,
No.
like Sprite is like the cure for it, and I don't get why.
So...
It's
so-
the ginger in Sprite is good for like stomach
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. So a lot
Yeah,
of
it-
things will give you like ginger ale or Sprite.
you
for
just
other
pay
stomach
$12
things.
for
Yeah.
the water, and then give it
Well,
to
we
them.
got this thing where we say that a McDonald's Sprite could wake up a dead person because it's that strong. Like-
Yeah, no.
Dude,
usually what they do
McDonald's
when you're,
Sprite
like,
hits!
When you're like drunk off your ass, is
Dude,
they call
It
like
hurts sometimes.
like they call the ambulance on you and get you admitted, so that way you have a $2,000 bill later on.
Haha, free healthcare in England.
Oh, must be
Hey.
nice. Wait, England? I didn't know that England had free healthcare or universal
No,
healthcare, whatever
they're
you
like
call it.
Eastern Canada.
Anyway, Galax would literally just get tequila,
Ugh.
some form of really
I love
strong
tequila.
vodka, and for some reason he would get water because he doesn't understand the concept of like mixing drinks, and he would put those 3 things together and just neck it.
I'm
And because
surprised
he's so used to that, he doesn't like any other drink.
Exton would have Fireball or
Hmm.
4 Horsemen.
He
That
just
was
drinks.
your fault.
Dude, it honestly was because, you know, you could have said no, you could have said nah, I'm good.
Can't back down. I'm Gabriella fucking Blackwood.
Yeah, we
Don't
know,
even
we
have-
know.
Gabrielle's middle name.
Orange
Yo,
County, I
Gabrielle's
guess.
middle name.
Gabriella's middle name fucking. Oh my gosh. All right.
Yeah,
Are
he
we-
essentially just doesn't understand the concept of alcohol and mixes everything with water.
Oh god.
He might be an
Each
idiot.
drink starts to add water in it. What the fuck are you doing?
He
Like,
may be an
"Ooh,
idiot,
spice
but he's
deal."
also stupid, guys. Oh my
No,
gosh.
but-
I may be dumb.
Remember?
That's it, full stop. Oh my
You
god.
may call me an idiot. And you're right.
Anyways, are you guys ready to continue now? Ready to
Reality
Oh,
show
hold
to
on.
be a thing.
yeah. Hold on. What aside do you want to do after you've been yelling at us?
Nothing. I just wanted to look around for a little bit. Go ahead.
I want to take in the surroundings.
Fresh room air.
Oh my gosh. So, last time we were playing D&D, you guys encountered a strange room after going through a cave and guys lost a good friend by the name of Exton. He went back home to see his daddy, and he said that he needs to inherit. After this, you guys crossed a bridge over a gorge, and at the bottom of the gorge you see an orange light, which was lava, you can only assume. You guys found this crystal-ish room. Upon entering, you noticed that something wasn't quite right. You guys tried to break off a crystal. Upon breaking off the crystal, both Galax and Hana got stuck in there, and Hana didn't really get stuck, but their foot got caught. And then the crystal started moving. Upon praying to their god, Rosalind somehow was able to get the help of their god, the goddess Demeter, to help them, and Demeter immediately stopped this weird crystal mass from moving. After a few hours of sitting around, like, troubleshooting, trying to figure out what to do with this weird being that had magically come alive out of the crystal, you guys noticed weird humming from the abyss down below that the crystal tried to go into. After a few minutes of humming, you guys noticed that it was a giant that was coming up the abyss, and he promptly was able to give you guys crystals in order to free your friends. And after doing so, he said that his friend there was named Pop, the crystal slime, and that he lived with somebody named Shin, and he told you that his name was Skoth, and that he would give you the crystals for your little escapades in exchange for clearing out the kobolds. And after he said this, you guys then had a very nice random chat with him. Gabriella tried to teach him the wonders of the world. Galax was told that he was a pet, and I think that Hana turned into a cat. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
That sounds like something that would
That's
happen.
accurate. Yeah. Yeah.
That tracks.
Yeah. And after this whole sidebar happened, you guys left and immediately went to go and clear out the kobolds, which Galax tried to befriend at first. And as you guys were traveling through the one-man corridor, Galax was stabbed in the side, and
Yeah,
almost
happened.
killed, along with Gabriella. But not before you were able to take out their friends on the ledge with a fire tornado created literally out of thin air. And after killing all the kobolds and Hana running away and just sitting off to the side for a little bit, you guys are now in the cave, just chilling around. And I believe that Gabriella said that they were going to go back to Skoth, while the other ones said that they were going to go ahead and head to the entrance of the cave. Am I right?
Yeah.
I am gonna loot the bodies of the kobolds because I want to steal some shit.
All right, go ahead and roll me a d12 real quick.
I would also like to.
Mick, I'm running in.
I just thought what dice does not get used at all, and I'm pretty sure like d12 does not get used.
Yeah.
D8.
Yeah, barely.
What'd you get?
7.
7?
May also roll.
Yeah, you can all roll if you want. You're free.
Oh wow, I want to roll now, everyone.
That is a 9. Wait, no. 9. Yes. Okay. Wait.
I also
Is it just a
got,
straight D12?
D12, yeah.
Okay.
I also got
Oh, you
a
said
9.
D12. Sorry, I rolled a 20.
No, for you it's a d8.
Okay, well, I'm gonna roll a D12 anyway.
So I got 9.
Wait.
Pup got a 9.
5.
Got 7.
5,
And I
9,
got a
5, 9,
5, 7, 9.
7,
Five,
and then
nine,
you
nine.
got a 9 as well, Rosalind? Alright, so you guys are all pretty much right next to each other. I'm just gonna say that for Rosalind and Gabriella, you guys were able to find a couple small trinkets on them, you know, like a holy symbol to their gods here and there. You find a couple letters to different little, like, tribes of Corks that are around, and you also just find a couple letters addressed that seems to be to anyone, more of a personal entry, a diary type thing, rather than true, like, you know, letters or stories. And you also find a couple small, like, silver bands, very small silver bands that they could use on their rings, and a couple tools that look like they're used for carving, but other than that, nothing of interest. For Hana and Galax, you guys are able to find a couple different rags. I guess Gabriella and Rosalind, you guys are also able to see this, but you guys are able to find obviously the rags that they're wearing to cover their bodies, and you also see different weapons that they use. You obviously see daggers on a few of them, 2 or 3 daggers. You see 1 or 2 of them wielding great axes, and obviously all the boomerangs that they were using scattered about the caves. But other than that, they don't seem to have much of interest. You do see one, though, the one that initially attacked Galax at the beginning of the little, like, tunnel junction, having 1 golden tooth among his jawline. Yes, Galax.
Can I take the dagger that the guy stabbed me with?
Yeah, you can take it.
Is
And
it
he's
still
gonna
got my blood
stab
on it?
him back.
Does it still have your blood on it?
take
It would have
the-
been dried a little bit, but yes.
Okay.
I'm
I
gonna
would
take the tooth.
I would take that dagger.
All right, sounds good. Yeah.
Should we just pull out the gold tooth? Am I qualified for this?
Am I a
I
surgeon?
yank it out.
All right, go ahead and roll me.
Opposing.
Just to let you know, if you don't, I'm pushing you out the way and then just rip it out. Because
Roll you
Galax-
what?
If you don't get it, I'm literally just running.
Roll me. Are you just yanking? You're
Yeah,
just
I'm
yanking
going
on
in
it. Strength. Go ahead and roll me strength.
Lucid, how many other daggers are there?
12.
There's about 2 or 3, so if Galax took the one that was used to stab him, there's about 2 more. You rolled a 12. As you start yanking on the tooth, you see his head, like, shift back and forth, and you hear a snap of what you could assume to be, like, some bones in his neck, but you can't seem to pull the tooth out of his jaw.
So you snap
look
his neck, but you couldn't.
I
pull
look
the
at
tooth.
Galax and I sort of give him a grr face.
I pick up the dagger, that is obviously his, and go, well, might as well. And I start like sawing at the tooth to try and get it off.
I'm gonna.
I throw up in the dead guy's mouth.
What are you
Can
saying,
you not do that
Rosalind?
In front of
I'm
me,
gonna take
Jesus
the other 2
Christ.
daggers.
All right, sounds good. You can add them to your inventory. You're throwing up.
Wow.
Not Hana literally eating a dead goblin head, but also
Are any of them decapitated or like like by any chance?
I
I have a dagger. Listen, I can get the tooth out.
I believe one of them got decapitated by the spiritual
Yeah.
guardians.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna yoink that head so I can show Girth? Groth?
Scoth.
Scoth. You know how we got
Okay.
there.
Think of reggae and then what came before it. Oh my gosh. Anyways.
I'll make my way downtown.
Do I get the gold tooth, Mr. DM?
After a few minutes of like sawing, what are you sawing it with actually? First, I should ask.
Dagger.
The dagger.
That was his. So insult to injury for him. Get fucked. Haha.
Since gold is like a relatively soft metal, after a few minutes of sawing, you can kind of make a dent big enough to where you can start bending the tooth, and after bending the tooth a few times, you're able to snap it off. It's not perfectly sawed out. There's still obviously gold inside there, and like where the tooth was planted in, but you can get most of the gold out, and you have a gold like thing. That's probably about, you know, an inch.
I offer Tahana.
Yes.
Also, before I left that area, I wanted to grab any like the silver rings or whatever.
Alright.
Whatever like little trinkets.
You
and
you
whatnot,
can
like,
find about
tiny-
3 or 4 silver bands, and then on the tail of one of them, you find a slightly larger one that was on a tail band.
And is that like the trinkets and whatnot? as
Yeah.
well?
Do
Cool.
I recognize
The trinkets
holy
are mostly
symbol?
holy symbols and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you recognize the holy symbol? The holy symbol is what appears to be an anvil with a hammer on it, and then the anvil is like striking it, showing like an image of like sparks coming out. You probably would notice this symbol, I would say. With going to different towns and trying to sell what your father has made, you would notice this symbol as a symbol of Shamshin. One of the symbols of Shamshin, I should say.
I'm going to grab one of the holy symbols at least.
Alright, sounds good.
I'm gonna give the gold tooth to Hana.
Alright.
You didn't hear me say that, Mr. DM.
By the way, there's so many spiritual weapons just floating among us. Can you put these away?
There's only one.
I feel like the guardians would be gone at this point, and so with the spiritual weapons.
Guardians
Yeah.
last a minute, I believe. Oh, whoops. That is
They
not what I
last-
want.
They have 10
10
minutes of
minutes.
concentration.
10 minutes? Okay.
Yeah.
Can I see? Do I see Rosalind looking at the holy symbols?
You would be able to see them, yes, more than likely.
I only asked because obviously when I was looting, I wouldn't have seen them, so I was just checking. Can I grab a holy symbol then, please?
You can grab one.
I think there's not enough holy to
You-
go around.
You yourself wouldn't have probably, well, you would have come across this symbol, but you wouldn't know what the god or anything that it represents is. You would have seen it like in churches, like you would have been able to see like a symbol up on the not the banister, but like where the roof meets. Essentially, you'd be able to see the
Yeah.
symbol, but you wouldn't be able
Yeah,
to tell
well,
what it is.
Yeah. Galax basically goes, kobold, holy symbol, yoink. That's it. That's literally
Mm-hmm.
all he thinks. But yeah, now I have that, so.
Oh, I did want to give
Is
the
that-
letters too. Well, actually, I didn't grab the letters.
Is
That's
that
fine.
addable to the thing? I don't even know.
There's a holy symbol. You can just add holy symbols, and then in parentheses, hammer and anvil. Because it's like a little text thing. What did you say, Gabriella?
So yeah, going to Scoth. Just.
All right. Is there anything before we get to the Scott? Is there anything else you guys want to do with the dead bodies before we do this?
I feel my side. How deep is this this stabbing that I received?
Well, he tried to go as deep as he could, so you can kind of check the blade, like how deep the dried blood is on the blade. And upon inspection, you can see that the blade, it isn't like a very long sword, but like, or a very long blade, but you can see like 3 inches probably that it went in.
I'm gonna sort of look at it and go, and then like keep like looking at my hand and see that it's dried. I'm like, well, could have been worse. And I like just like rub it a little bit. It probably makes like the scab like come off a little bit. But like I sort of rub at it and then just walk and follow Gabriella.
All right.
You're the
Pop
one.
my scimitar and I slice one of the heads off and take it with me.
Okay. Are you gonna start eating it as well?
Not yet.
Okay.
You gotta let it dry first.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta smoke it a little bit, you know.
Right. Yeah,
Put it on a
yeah,
spit,
yeah.
turn it.
Exactly. We all know we're all on the same page here. We got it.
Oh my gosh. What about you, Rosalind? Anything else you want to do, or are you good?
I think I'm good.
All right. So, as you guys exit and you start moving back towards the area that Skoth is at, you guys do hear a couple rumblings, like, not rumblings, but like, a couple noises coming from the different pathways in the room, like, in the junctures. But as you pass through, nobody seems to notice you, so you assume that it's good. And as you guys get back to the lava room, you don't notice anything out of ordinary. You just cross the bridge and are able to get back to where the room that you last saw Skoth at. And as you go into the room, he doesn't appear to be there anymore. And Pop also seems to be gone.
Goth, are you here?
No reply.
Interesting. Primeval awareness, maybe. Well, yeah. I'll use primeval awareness to see if he's at least within a mile, because I know he's a giant. So.
And it does detect giants?
Yes.
I didn't think it did.
I didn't think. What's that list?
Aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fays, fiends, or undead.
That's not.
Yeah,
Well,
giants are humanoids, I
Is it another
believe.
category?
Yeah, well, humanoid face giant was what I had from last session. So.
Oh, that's right. He's humanoid.
Yeah. No, giants are their own things, apparently.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, so you wouldn't be able to detect a giant.
Oh.
So, in that case, you just detect the same aberration presence you've been detecting this whole time. You also detect some undead presences from, the possible undead presence that's still left from the zombies that are dead outside. You aren't quite sure if they are fully dead or if they are just lying there. But, other than that, you don't detect anything.
Can
Do we
I
have
check
a crystal?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have some crystals.
Can I
Because it's your
inspect?
snack, remember, Galax?
Ah, yes.
Yeah. Can I inspect the room, or just to see like if where there are any tracks or anything like that?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and roll me investigation.
Ooh, that is a 6.
As you go to inspect the abyss and lean over to try and find out if there was any marks left by his hands gripping the walls or ruts left by the crystal slime, you notice that the abyss seems to be a little closer to you. The edge seems to have crept a little bit closer to the door, not by much, but just a smidge. But other than that, you can't tell anything.
Like to the party and saying, "They're not here."
I'm gonna finger gun like this, and I'm gonna go set me up then, and I'm gonna prepare to volley the kobold's head into the abyss.
Well,
You
we
gonna-
have 2
you gonna throw it
heads,
for me?
so.
You gonna throw it for me?
You know what?
When he finger guns, I'm gonna poof my poof my scimitar away and poof my gun out and go.
Also, wait, are there any other crystals in this room? Do I see any, or
There's no crystals in this room, no. There's a little bit of flecks and some dust left over from Pop moving, but other than that, you don't see any full crystals, no.
Why do we not see a giant slime slug crystal and there's very little trail of it? Huh. That's alright, Galax, think fast, and I throw it to you.
I literally set myself up for a full-on volley, and I will do a performance check to see how well I do, if that's okay.
Okay.
Or do I just volley
Go
this thing
ahead.
into the abyss?
Go ahead, do performance. Actually, do athletics. It's athletics.
Or
Athletics,
acrobatics.
okay.
Athletics. It's literally a sport.
Ah.
Hold on.
No, that's with a ball.
15.
This is different. 15 on athletics. How do you serve the ball, I guess? Gabriella.
With animal handling. No, kidding. So I'm gonna whip it fucking
Please
the
no.
propeller.
Wrong sport!
You know what? Gabriella doesn't do sports. She just knows.
I can tell.
Okay, as you twist it around and chuck it up, Galax, you get into position and you jump and you just rocket it downwards and spike it into the abyss. As you spike it into the abyss, you see it go down, and as it slowly gets sucked up by the darkness, you hear and eventually, as it gets quieter and quieter from hitting the different sides of the wall, it eventually just completely goes deafened and you can't hear it anymore.
You
Well,
hear,
if it
I
wasn't
hear
dead,
the first,
it's
like,
dead now.
I hear the first, and I look at them and I go, oh, and I just run out. I like leave.
Why do I
Start running
enable
up the
him?
stairs.
Why do I enable him at all? Alright, well,
I'll start heading out.
we have the crystal, so shall we go see your friend?
I'm gonna like stop running and go, yeah, and then just carry on, like running up the stairs like this, like celebrating.
Remind me.
I'm gonna slide on my knees and go, let's go!
Just holster my gun and slowly walk behind. Disappointed is the word, right?
Embarrassed for
yeah.
this again the second hand.
Oh, embarrassed.
Disappointed and everything.
Upset, you know.
Listen, you could have said no.
I should have just thrown it at his balls, honestly.
Oh my
For
gosh.
the nut shot.
So are you-
Galaxy doesn't feel that because isn't he technically armored and his skin is like double layer skin?
I mean, if you hit anything hard enough in the nuts, you'll reach it.
I'm like Shrek. I have layers.
That doesn't protect your nuts. What kind of ogre do you think he is? Never mind, do not answer that question.
Anyway,
Moving on.
Are we good?
here.
have the zombies guarding the entrance, by the way, because I think we sent.
You guys left zombies guarding the entrance, yes. As you guys start going back through the cave, you guys pass through the different junctions again, you know, obviously hearing the different, grunts and like sounds that you heard the first time. But other than that, nothing really out of the ordinary. If you guys want to check any of the junctions, you can. It's up to you. But if not, you guys can just go ahead and leave and go back to Trelio.
Get it.
Trelio.
Alright.
Trelio.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm done.
Alright.
Because like I'm still only 19 health and I need to rest. I have like 0 spell slots.
Hey man, you never know what could happen. As you guys exit the cave, you do notice that the zombies that were guarding there, they're still there, but they don't seem to be responsive as much as they were. They're standing there kind of like motionless at the entrance to the cave.
Follow.
As you say follow to them, you notice that none of them really turn around.
Follow, please.
Dead.
Dead it again. They still don't turn around.
Damn, well, I'm out of
them and put my
options.
hands on my hips.
What was that?
I walk in front of them and put my hands on my hips.
As you walk in front of them and you look at them, you can see them all just like paralyzed, just standing there motionless. And as you walk in front, you notice that they are not moving or responding to you, even looking at them with your hands on your hips or nothing.
On a check
I
from me.
look at like their vision, like where they are, like where they're looking towards.
Alright, go ahead and roll the Arcana first. And you roll Investigation.
That is a 11.
Alright.
I'm gonna
14.
get my pistol out and kind of hide to the side of the exit and
14.
wait.
14. Alright.
Oh, good.
With the 11, Gabriella, you try to detect any sort of magical energies or just anything around. You know that there are spells that can cause people to get frozen in place and immobile for a certain amount of time, but you can't quite tell if this is that spell, and based off of any magical energy, you can't really detect anything that would be causing this to them outside of that spell.
But do I understand that it's magical or not that has affected them?
You can't really tell, no.
Okay, cool. I am going to use my last spell slot then real quick. My last second level spell slot and do Pass Without a Trace again.
On
case.
your whole party, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Alright. How much did you get on the investigation?
14.
14. As you look towards the direction that they were gazing off into, you do notice a few drops of blood here and there. but the blood seems to have been dried up, and even then, it doesn't seem that a creature is bleeding. It seems like there is actually something that it was dripping off of more. Like, it's like one splatter of blood here, one splatter there.
Okay. I'm gonna use detect magic.
All right.
If that's okay, 'cause I have the spell, so I'm gonna use that first level spell, detect magic.
All right. As you start trying to figure out this magical presence around you, you do feel the magical presence coming, a magical presence coming from the back of the cave and deep underground, but you don't see anything in the area that he is, that they are looking out into.
Is there any animals like around, like birds, owls?
You guys are still down at the bottom of the cave. You guys have to walk up the staircase to the top. There's just an abyss along the back wall there, or darkness along the back wall, I should say.
I'll be the first to walk out with my fire. I have fire sickle in hand, but I'm gonna be the first one to walk out.
All
I'm
right.
gonna put my hand on Galax's back and follow him with my pistol out.
Is he got cover? Has Hana got cover technically?
Full cover? No, I'll say if you guys, I'll say you'll get half cover.
Right,
I'll take
If they're not on the backside, obviously, like looking at the backside of him. But
you got that dump truck of an ass.
all right. Anyways, Rosalind and Gabrielle, are you guys doing anything?
Just following them.
Yeah, I'm
Alright.
just gonna keep an eye out. Just like weapon drawn, just in case.
As you
Go
guys,
back to the keep, right?
Yeah, we're trying to, but I'm just concerned just in case.
no, you guys said that you were going back to Trelio, which is not at the
Go
keep.
Trelio. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
As you guys walk up, you start noticing that the blood stains that were on the ground also do trail up the stairs a little bit, and you see like a smear of it at near the top of the stairs where the blood smears, and as you get out of the cave, it just stops, but it goes all the way up to the very lip of the cave.
I do sort of like a smolder 360 where I sort of and like look around, like obviously around it. So I do like a whole like 360 pan with Hana obviously like like behind me the whole time. Can I count that as an investigation? I guess.
Yeah, you can roll investigation for me.
I'll peer around the room too as he goes.
19.
All right. As you're looking
Nice.
around, trying to Hana, you don't see anything. Anyways, as you're looking around trying to find something in the present area, you do notice the blood stains just kind of on the grass, like a little bit of grass, like bloodied here and there, and you see it trailing off into a little wooded area. And you do notice some noises from there. You hear a little bit of grumblings and like something muttering, it sounds like, to themselves, but you can't quite tell what it is or who it is.
I sort of put my hand like back behind, just like to everyone to like slow down a little bit, and I'm gonna sort of like go and point in the direction, in the hope that they pick up on what I'm trying to do. Do you guys listen?
Alright, sorry, what was that?
So I sort of stop you to like slow down a little bit, and I sort of go like that, like in the direction of the blood trail, in the hope that you at least look in that direction.
Yeah.
Okay. Will they hear the sounds, or is it just me that hears the sounds?
They'll be able to hear the sounds when you like draw a little closer, but for now, since you're the one actively perceiving it, you would be the one able to hear it right now.
I'm gonna turn around and go, I hear things. What do you want to do? I sort of like quite quietly, just sort of like whispering to them, like trying to get a game plan.
I know we're pretty bloodied up right now, so if we could avoid a fight, I would much like to rather rest right now.
Others? Rosalind?
Hi.
It's probably better to try and rest right now because we're very injured.
I'm gonna look at the group and just go, very good. I will be back. And I start leading the group back. But like, I'm sort of like constantly, like the rear view mirror sort of things, constantly just looking behind me to make sure there isn't anything behind us.
Roll stealth for me real quick, guys. All of you.
You have pass without a trace as well, so +10.
+10.
Ooh. Wait, I have my armor on. I forgot.
Wait. Oh wait, I got disadvantage. Damn it, I got.
That's still okay.
So I got a 19, and then I just got a 10. But
Yeah, I got an 18 and a 10.
So
24.
20.
I also got a dirty 20 because I got a 10 plus the 10, 20.
So what was the lowest one out of you?
Oh, I got 22 total.
24.
Dirty 20, and then
Dirty 20.
Gabriella.
24.
Okay. You guys don't seem to have alerted anything as you're passing by. You guys do hear like the rustling in the bushes and the mothering stop from time to time, but it doesn't seem to be in accordance with you guys. He'll stop, and then you'll hear like a little snap, but then it'll stop, start continuing again. But as you guys pass through and you're trying to get away from the mutterings, it slowly dampens out along with the other sounds of the forest and the trees swaying in the wind and stuff. And he doesn't seem to have noticed you.
Oy.
I sort of quietly go, "There's something here. We need to come back." Like gesturing, like we need to come back here.
We need to come back, but we also need to be prepared to fight again. And right now we're not.
Exactly. And I sort of go, "Detradio," but like really quietly, like like a Detradio, you know.
I did not recover my arrows.
That is your problem, and we will do that
We
later.
can
And I
make
carry on.
more. It'll be okay.
Just realized this. Like,
All right. So,
I knew it was
You
doing
investigated the bodies too. I would have thought you would have grabbed them.
where did these come from?
Wow, who shot these?
Insight was very low.
Arrow in it.
Oh
The
my
head that I
god.
volley pounced into the abyss had an arrow in it. Didn't even notice.
Yeah, well, I did only roll an 11 or something. So
I
maybe.
mean, he had us roll a d12 though.
Or was it 9? I can't remember. Oh, it's fine. I still have a decent amount of arrows.
But
Just buy more.
all right. As you guys travel back to Trelio, you do see the sun. Like it was like noon when you guys entered, right? Pretty sure it was around noon.
Yeah.
But you guys see the sun slowly as you guys are leaving. It was about dusk when you guys came up above the cave again, and you see the sun slowly fall down below the horizon, and you see the moon start coming out as you guys start your trek back to Trelio. By the time you get to him, it is a little well into the night. It's not too dark, but you can still see. Obviously, most of your party has dark vision anyways, so it's not that big of a deal. But as you guys get back to the cave that you saw Trelio at, and you are sitting there with the crystals, you do hear the humming, and you see one of the elves that has been accompanying Trelio through most of this time, like trying to communicate with you about the shield and whatnot, just sitting at the mouth of the cave there.
I sort of go, like, because obviously I'm assuming we're a reasonable distance, so I'm sort of going, what? You know, like gesturing, because I can't understand him fully just yet.
To the elf. As you gesture to the elven man looks at you, and you see him bow very deeply for a second, and then like nod and point inside.
I look to the rest of the group and go, come on then, and like start leading them in, I guess.
Wonder if he has any arrows.
Oh my.
You're
I'm
still on
gonna
about the
get
arrow.
my
I
shield
need
and
them. I have a very low amount now because of how many of them were broken.
take my shield and gun, and I go on in.
All right. As you guys get in, you guys hear the normal rhythmic beating of a hammer against iron, and you hear the prosthetic limbs once again as he's moving around. And as you guys get in there, you hear Trelio saying something under his breath before he notices you in Dwarvish. Do any of you guys know Dwarvish?
No.
I do
All right.
not.
Well, you hear him muttering something under his breath, and a few of you can understand that it is of Dwarvish descent
Yeah, I
and
mean, I took it
dialect.
in high school. That's pretty
Yeah,
much it,
yeah, I took
but-
like 2 years of it. I don't know.
I got like bathroom and like yes question mark.
But banyo, something like that.
actually pronounced Bono.
But you guys get in there and you notice that it is Dwarvish, but you can't really tell what he is saying or anything. And after a few minutes of him working on it and just pounding the iron, he slowly turns around and he notices you guys, and all he goes is, how are you guys today? My accent has changed.
I'm gonna gesture to.
Hungry.
I can't do his voice.
I'm gonna gesture to Gabriella to show the crystals.
Yes, will this suffice? But also, I am really tired, so here you go. I'm going to lay on a rock if you don't mind.
He looks at you, he goes,
I take them before he grabs them and put them in my hand.
Alright.
I'll let him take them.
as you do that, as he's about to reach out for him, and he goes, well, what's stopping you from giving me the crystals then?
I'm gonna look at him and go, are we still on for the deal or not? And I'm gonna like move my hand towards me.
He looks at you and he goes, Trelio never goes back on a deal.
Does Trelio have a nice bed that she could borrow, that Gabriella can borrow?
I sort of like slowly just like put my hand out.
He looks at you and he's like, I'm sure a little dirt nap could do well for you, princess. And he holds out and he grabs the bag. And
slit throat.
You see him grab the bag and slowly open it, and as he opens it, you see the blue glow of the crystals slowly like shine out of the bag a little bit, and he looks at you, he's like, what did you guys see in that cave?
I'm gonna like thingy like this, and then there's gonna be like obviously the hole. Which
Which hole is it?
Yeah, this side.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to think because when I was walking, I would be.
You got stabbed on the right, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like some of my species and some pretty big people.
He looks at you, he's like, all right, well, if you don't mind, it'll be just a few minutes. And he looks at the shield and he points to you, Galaxy. He's like, if you could come with me right over to here. And he points to his little anvil in the corner with the forge like already fired up and going.
I turn to the group and go.
All right. As you guys head over there, you see him start muttering again in Dwarvish as he's talking to himself, and you see him grab a crystal out of the bag, and you see him kind of shove it into one of the slots that the horn has open, and you see him just start banging on the shield a few times while muttering this what you can assume to be some sort of incantation or spell. You can't quite tell. And as he does so, you notice like a weird aura start building on the shield, and it gets brighter and brighter. And then after a few more minutes of him muttering and bashing on the shield with this crystal, he then reaches in and grabs the crystal and takes it out, and you notice that the blue hue is completely gone and that it's just a clear crystal now.
Okay. Weird.
Your shield absorbed whatever was in the crystal then.
Blue crystal. Now clear.
I hold up the gold tooth and show him.
You show Trelio?
Mm-hmm.
What are you like? Are you asking him anything,
Look what
or
I found from the tooth fairy.
he as he's working on the shield, he doesn't seem to notice you holding the tooth up to him.
I put out my other hand and go, I'll ask, and like gesture it from.
And I slap his hand away a little and I pull on Chellia's like pant leg or whatever.
He has no pants.
As you pull on his pant leg, you see him just kind of like move his hand back and try swatting at you a little bit to get you to go away.
I push into his leg.
You see him just go, and he looks at Galax and he holds the shield steady, and he goes, remove your arm.
Just as quickly as I can.
As you start moving your arm out, you feel like a pull back in on your shoulder to go back into it. But as you start fighting it a little bit after a little bit, you're able to yank your arm out. And for the first time in weeks, maybe even months, you notice that the shield doesn't immediately come back. And that the shield is now just sitting on the anvil with it in his hands. And as he... Probably. As you do that, you see him go, And he puts the shield on the anvil and he looks down at Hana. He goes, yes. You see him look at it and he takes it and he goes, it is a gold fang.
I hold up my shield.
You want me to put the gold onto your shield? Why?
And I point at the shield that just took the crystal shard.
Can you translate? And he's pointing to Galax.
Oh, alright. Well, I could translate as well. I speak common, but, you know.
I sort of look at the shield and I'm like, my guess is that you want it to look like that shield? And like, I gesture to Hana and I'm like, yeah, want it to look the same. You got some glue or like licking it on the shield, like.
He looks down at Hana. He goes, you realize that this is but one fang, and that those are great horns built out of many beasts slain on that shield.
I go, no, I sort of interrupt and go.
We'll get more.
I go, just do it.
One of many to come.
Jesus Christ, she's gonna be a dentist.
You see him go, fine. And you see him hold out his hand. He's like, give me the shield.
I hold out my shield on my arm.
You see him grab the shield and start trying to take it off. Do you let him?
I let it go reluctantly.
You see him grab the whole shield, and you see him heat the shield up really quickly in his forge. And as he looks back at the shield that he just took off, the one that's been talking to Galax, you see him grab that and put it off to the side for a little bit as he heats up your shield. As your shield heats up, you notice it changed color, obviously, to a brighter red. And he grabs the little iron fang that you gave him, and he heats that up a little bit to where you can see it start to melt a little bit, but not quite. And you see him just kind of start pushing it onto the shield to try and glue it to the shield a little bit. And you also see him start mixing other metals and stuff in with it to help it seal and stay on. And you hear the beating of a slight beating of a hammer as he tries to make sure that it stays secure to some facet of the shield in some way. And as he hands it back, you notice the thing pointing up and out a little bit, straight up from the center of the shield.
He made it look good. I'm happy, and I grab it all smiley, and I'm a little giddy. I'm a little jumpy.
Excuse me, Trelio as well. Right.
Yes.
Thank you.
You see him look over and pat you on the head a little bit, and then he looks over to
found this,
Gabriella.
And I show him the stifle shot. Can you explain this weaponry to me and how to use it and how to utilize it?
The stifle shot, you said?
Mm-hmm.
He takes the rifle-looking object in hand, and he looks at it, and you see him bring it up, and he kind of looks through the sights on it, and he just goes, well, this is no ordinary weapon, I can say that much.
Yes, I figured as much, but what requirements do I need to operate it?
Well, it seems like it's imbued with some sort of magic, to where it will shoot out magical projectiles if cast from the user.
Say, Rosalind, would you like this gun? Would you like this? Do I know it to be a rifle?
You would know it to be a gun, at least, at the very least, yes.
Would you like this? Would you like this
And a
long gun?
Long gun.
long gun.
Because I may have dabbled in magic. I didn't major in it. So yes. Did you just
I
double
dabbled,
dab?
not dupled.
Because you said dabbled.
Can I roll to kill myself, please?
Can I roll for, like, death or something?
Please. Can it, instead of a death saving throw, can I have a life saving throw?
Oh my gosh. What do you say to Gabriella when they offer the stifle shot to you? Rosalind?
I guess, sure.
I mean, I have no use for it, so you might be able to at least have something at range as well.
Ooh,
Should be nice.
More range.
He looks over at Gabriella and he just goes, I don't know what you guys are going to do with it, but here you go. And he gives it back to Gabriella to do with what you please.
Question. Do you feel the type of spell casted through the gun would be able to make a spell ranged by any chance?
What do you mean?
Say a cure wound spell.
Yeah, I'm like,
With
am
the
I
gun.
just
Well-
gonna be Anna?
He looks at you and he's like, I do not believe that is the use of it, no.
Oh, so you just have to imbue magical power to shoot the type of magical bullet or magical ammunition. Then.
In short, yes. Think of it as a bullet,
see.
very much concentrated. So,
Okay.
that is the
Well-
essential gist of it.
Looks like you have Looks like you have a new weapon, Roslyn. After many seasons.
Preferably.
You have your bonking stick. You have your.
Because I can't add it right now.
Yeah, I have to add it. No worries. I'll be able to. He looks around. He just goes, "Now is that everything you guys are asking for? Can I finish with the shield now?"
Yes, by all means. I think it would be great for the rest of our party to rest if you wouldn't mind.
He looks at you and he just goes, "I don't really have a place for rest around here. Not that anybody else could use at least. As you can see, and he holds out his arm with the prosthetic on. He's like, a little less capable of finding good rest for myself, so I've had to build my own stuff."
If you prefer to work, I could stand outside. I can sleep outside right now.
Gabriella of offering to sleep outside?
Hey, he did me a
Never
favor.
heard
It's
of that
character
before.
development.
Never
Don't you
heard
take
of
this
it
away from her.
By the way, I've walked around the other side of the table and I'm like inspecting the shield, like looking at it whilst he's been talking this entire time.
All right.
Just 'cause I'm curious, man. That's what Galax would do.
And then walking back inside, Gabrielle's like, "Never mind, I'm sleeping inside."
It's raining. I can't.
I felt a gust of wind, and I was like, "Nope."
There's dust out there. Jesus. Go ahead and are you investigating it, or like what are you doing, Galax? Are you trying to talk to it or something, or?
I guess I'll try and talk to it, and see if I get a response or if I get like the piercing in my brain of some sort.
Hope not.
8.
On what? What were you trying to do? Investigate
See
it?
if I could. I sort of go, because his name's Callum, right? We called it Callum.
That's what he's told you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I go, Callum, can you still hear me or no? And I'm like slow, just like sort of like maneuvering it, like trying to get. You know when you got no signal on your phone and you're like, I'm doing that with a shield, essentially.
Hello? Can you hear me now?
A little bit distorted.
Oh my gosh. As you try to talk to it, you feel the same piercing in your brain, and then you hear like a bunch of voices all running through each other and kind of ramming into each other, and you hear like just a muddle of different tones, dialects, voices of themselves, and the only one that stands out is you notice that it sounds a little like Trelio, and all you hear is soon, soon.
Okay. I'm gonna sort of go like this, and like I've dropped the shield at this point because I'm like that, because there's loads of voices in my head. I'm turning into Randy Orton hearing voices.
As soon as you drop the shield, the piercing immediately fades out, and none of the voices are able to be heard anymore.
Does Trelio see me do that?
As you drop the shield and you hear it clank onto the ground, Trelio like looks back to you, and he just goes, "What are you doing?"
I go, my shield. I needed to know that he was still in there, and I pointed towards the shield, and because I slowly get my bearings, and obviously I've heard all these voices, and I point at him, and I go, "You was in the shield. I heard you."
He looks at you. He goes, "I've never been in that shield in my life."
And I'm gonna like reverberate back what I heard, sort of. If that makes sense.
He looks at you and he looks back at the shield and he just goes, he knows he's about to be let out.
I pick the shield back up and I put it on, I guess, wherever he needs it.
As you pick the shield back up, you do feel that piercing again into your head, and you hear the muddling of voices, and it immediately goes away as you set it back down. Alright. Is there anything else you wish to do with the shield?
I sort of go, Callum, this is gonna be an interesting one. And I sort of just go and gesture to Trelio to finish the job.
As you gesture that to Trelio, you see Trelio, walk up to it, and you see him grab a little piece of chalk out of his, back, like, his side pockets, and you see him start drawing different little sigils on the anvil before he brings the shield over and sets it on there. And then after he sets it on there, you see him bring his prosthetic arm up, and you see him start twisting some of the gauges around on it, and you see the ending of the arm start shifting and changing into these different forms. And as he shifts and changes, you see this form that looks kind of like the end of a diamond that's very pointed, and you hear him start saying words that you have heard before in common, and you hear him just go, "Arc out with force." And as he says that, you see a little lightning just shoot out and start hitting the shield, and as it shoots out and hits the shield, you see it start encompassing the whole shield as this bright glow starts emanating from it. As this bright glow starts emanating from it, the sigils start flaring up, the forge starts like roaring louder and then like brighter, and then after a while of this, you see like a couple like blue shadows start emerging from the shield. As these shadows emerge,
Wait, shadows?
blue shadows start emerging from the shield, sort of. As okay, I'll wait.
Thought I didn't hear you right. Yeah. No, carry on. Sorry.
As these blue shadows emerge from the shield and they start like feeling out, and they look like tendrils to an extent, and they start reaching out further and further, and then they all kind of converge. And as they start converging, you see a form of a man kind of like start taking shape in front of you, and as it takes shape, you see a man just kind of fall down onto the floor, completely naked, and this very old-looking, decrepit man with a very long and gray beard is laying on the floor, and as he's laying there, he looks up and he just kind of looks shocked around. And as this happens, Trelio looks at him and he just goes, No. This can't be the one! And he looks around at you, he's like, Are you sure? Are you sure where you found this shield is correct?
Yes.
You see him
Look
pick
at
up
my shield and I quickly just drop it like...
You... as you say this, you see him go and pick up the shield and he starts shaking it, he's like, Come on, talk to me! And he throws the shield at you, he's like, Speak to it!
I slowly, like, start reaching behind my back. I pull out a rag and chuck it to the old guy, and then I start speaking to it.
Alright.
I'm like, what's going on? And I'm, like, shaking the shield. I'm like, what's going on?
Why?
Where is she? Where's Rachel?
As you do this, you hear the muddling of voices come in again, but you're noticing it quieter this time and less muddled to an extent, and you still hear the one that spoke over them, and in Trelio's voice, he just goes, Not enough! Keep going!
I just I start like pointing at the bag of the crystals, and I'm like, it needs more! And I like slam it onto the anvil again, and I'm like, come on!
as you're yelling at him to put more crystals on it, you see him frantically picking the crystals up as fast as he can, and just like doing the same incantation and routine over and over again. As he does this, the blue tendrils start coming out and forms another shape, and as this shape forms, an elven man falls on the floor. And he does it again once more. You see this weird lizard-looking lady fall out, and he's just going, How many? How many are in here? And he's just like...
I sort of talk to it and go, anyone else? And I'm like shaking the shield.
Eventually, once you say anyone else, you only hear one last voice. You no longer hear the muddling. And it just goes, Only Ladorn.
Sorry, that's a hilarious name.
Hold on, I'm just writing in all the people that we've got out so far. So,
Ladoran?
an Elvish Man, Lizard Man, right?
Ledora, the Explorer.
Okay. And then
Ladoran.
How do you spell that name? How do you spell that name?
Ladorn, Leadoren.
Okay, I'm gonna look to him and go, "There's one more," and I slam it onto the anvil again.
He looks at you and he looks back at the shield and he just goes, I hope this is it. And you see him finally do the routine one last time. And as he does, the tendrils that come out are very pale blue this time instead of the deeper blue that was happening before. And as this one comes out, you notice it start forming around into a smaller stature rather than the bigger lizard folk and all that other stuff that has been pouring out. And as it forms into this smaller stature, you see a dwarvish man slowly forming, and he falls out onto the ground naked, and you see him covered just completely in these different like geometrical looking tattoos, very square shaped, all around his body except for the very top of his head and down onto his face. And you see, as this moment happens, as Trelio sees this man fall out onto the ground, you see him just stop in sheer like shock at the sight that he's beholding, and he just goes, finally. And you see him rush over and he grabs the young dwarvish man, and you see him hug him very tight, and he just goes, I finally found you. And you see him just start sobbing into this dwarvish man.
Oh, well.
I sort of look to the others and I'm like,
I'm going to go take that nap now, since we're not in danger.
I'm gonna sort of like slowly walk over and like checking on like the lizard dude, the elvish man, like making sure that they're all okay. And I'm like, do they say anything back to me?
They seem to be very out of it mentally at the time. But as you go and check in on them, they do respond to your words one by one as you check in on, you know, asking them, are you okay? Or, is there any way we can help? They just kind of smile and they look around. And as you ask, are you okay? They just like nod a little bit, kind of confused as to where they are at this moment.
I explained to them sort of what happened, like with how we got them out with the shield. And I'm like, I don't know how you got in, but like, we've got you out now and you're safe, essentially. I tell them.
Okay.
And then I slowly walk over and go, and I like kneel, because obviously they're dwarves. I'm gonna kneel down, and I'm gonna look, and I'm gonna be like, so this is the one you've wanted, Trelio.
He looks over to you. He goes, yes. He's the whole reason I've been studying this entire, at least century before now.
I look at him and go, well, I'm glad that fate was on both of our sides.
He looks at you and he looks at the dwarvish man on the ground, and you see him whisper in the dwarvish man's ear in dwarvish, so you can't really understand what he's saying. And then you see him help the young dwarvish man up. And as the dwarvish man looks up at you and he looks over at you, Galax, you hear the voice that was in the shield, and he just goes, thank you, Galax. I appreciate you.
Hey.
He looks around, he's like, where's the shield that was, that this happened to us in?
I point at the anvil, but I also, like, before that, like, when he's talking to me, like, when he's saying thank you, I go, it's the least I could do, and I, like, gesture my hand out in respect for, like, sticking with me, pretty much. Well, like, he had a choice, but, you know. But, like, you know, like, I stick my hand out before he asks about the shield.
You look at him, look at his hand, and then over at your hand, and you see him kind of look back at it as if questioning something, and then he kind of reaches out towards you to shake your hand.
All right. And then obviously he asks me that, and I sort of point towards the anvil. I don't know if the shield like disintegrated, whatever, but
The shield is still there, it appears.
I point towards it, and I'm like, but I wouldn't touch it just to be safe.
He looks at you, he goes, well, if what happens to you happens to me, then I think I'll take that risk at least.
Sure. I follow closely behind.
You see him walk up to the shield, and he looks back at Trelio, he goes, if it happens again, you know what to do, brother. And he slowly reaches out for the shield. And as he reaches out for the shield, you see him kind of pick it up. And as soon as he touches it, he just lifts it up to his face and he just goes, well, looks like whatever magic was in here is now gone. He looks over at you, he's like, where did you get this shield?
I relay to him the same information I relay to Trelio about the whereabouts.
He goes, in a cave, just surrounded by...
Secret room cave. I sort of like do this.
In a secret tunnel.
What else did you find in the cave?
Was that where we found the dagger? I want to say the dagger.
It's where you fought the goblins and hobgoblins. What'd you say, Hana?
Where I got this, and I hold up the head that I cut off.
What?
Yeah, Hana still has the...
Do you still have that?
Yeah.
Why would I get rid of it? It smells so great.
It's so good.
I'll relay this, like, we fought goblins, hobgoblins, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, I'm pretty sure that was where we found the serpent dagger. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So I relay that information. I'm pretty sure, I want to say Rosalind found something, but I'm not 100% sure.
I don't think I did.
Well, you guys found a letter, but...
I was looking at, like, a shelf of things, and it was just paper. But I didn't take anything.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I'll just relay.
All right.
Pretty sure I didn't take anything.
As you say this, he kind of, like, looks around. He's like... What year is it?
I tell him the year in the hope that I'm right.
1985. Everyone's ready to party.
Back to the future. Whoa.
He looks at you, and he looks down at the shield, and he looks at his brother, and he just goes... So it really has been over at least 100 years.
Oh, Jesus.
And he looks back at him, he just goes... Well, I guess that means one thing. At least the person who put me in there should not be kicking around anymore.
And I look at him
So
and go,
who did this to you, though?
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Who?
He looks at you guys and he just goes, someone who dared to question the true power and intellect of the dwarven race. He used to overwatch the archives. I don't know how long ago.
Mogmo.
I knew it! I knew it! Mogmo's final boss.
he looks at you, he goes, he used to overlook the archives, back in Precio, and he, I'm assuming, is no longer in that position.
Do you have a name, perhaps?
He looks down at the ground for a few seconds, and he doesn't seem to immediately recollect it. He seems to be scrounging around for the information, and he just goes, it's there, but after so long in that shield, it's not quite clear. It's like foggy. And he's like, something that started with a K or a Q. It's a hard sound, but I can't quite make it out.
A lock to?
He looks at you, he's just like, no, not that. He looks at his brother, he's like, and he just goes over to him, and he just looks at his prosthetics first, and he just goes, how has this group helped you when you had all this at your disposal? And as he says this to Trelio just looks down, and he looks back at his brother, and slowly he starts moving his arm, like, in the fashion that you guys have been able to see, so he realizes that he can't really move quite fluidly. And at doing this, Ladoran just kind of looks around, he just goes, I see. He looks over at you guys, he goes, so I'm assuming you guys are going to want something for what you did today.
I sort of look at Trelio and I go, well, I'd already made a deal with your brother, but you've been in S.H.I.E.L.D. for so long, what do you even have to offer?
Gold or pancakes? Or golden pancakes?
I sort of point and go, or that.
He looks over at his brother and he looks over to you. He's like, what did he offer?
I sort of look, because the group doesn't know this, I sort of look to the group and go, his services to us.
Oh. How fancy.
He squints and he cocks his head. He just goes, forgive me, but my brother is capable of quite many things. What specific services?
Let's just say that he has his ways that might help us in the future. And
What's
I
all
sort
the
of gesture up. And I'm assuming that Trellia's going to know exactly what I mean when I look up. Does Trellia know what I'm on about or no?
What are you trying to mean?
The mechanism that he told me about.
Yeah, okay, I was just making sure. I was just making sure, like, Trellio might, but DM Lucid's just like, yeah.
Stupid.
He looks at you and he just puts his arm on his brother's shoulders and he just goes, like, he whispers in his ear again once more with a dwarven tone, and he just nods and he just goes, all right. Well, if you're looking for, I guess, another pair of hands to help with repairs, I can do that.
I look to the rest of the group and go, it's the least we could do.
The least you
Plus,
could
that
do,
means-
what?
Plus, that's two people doing the same thing. Just putting that out there. It's like we don't need to go to Doric and Yorick anymore. We've got our own.
Don't need
What was
bullets.
the name of the brother?
The one that just came out of the shield?
Yeah.
Ladoran.
Ludoran, okay. That's right.
I sort of just look at them both and I go, well, you're more than welcome to join us at the keep.
He looks at you and he just goes, how bad of a shape is it in?
Oh yeah, because he's going to remember, isn't he? I'm going to look to the group and go,
I'm gonna tell him, you know a square? Used to be round.
Oh my gosh.
Do you know about the tall? Was there any name to the tower? Or it's literally just a giant tower that we saw?
You were never given a name.
Okay. There was this tower that apparently might have a room at the top, and half of the tower has collapsed.
He looks at you and he just goes, so there was a battle there, I'm assuming.
I'm assuming the area that I assume is the blacksmith area is kinda in shambles.
We can arrange for repairs. We have people for that.
He looks
We have
at
people
you.
for that, right?
He looks at you and then he looks back at Galax and his brother just goes, from what I've been told, we are the people for that.
Yes, but we have people that can help people. I'm not the negotiator here. I'm just saying. Think of me like a bird, repeating everything I hear.
Is this how you got through all of your like arguments with your father?
I'm not gonna talk about my daddy issues. It's fine.
I sort of look at both the dwarves and go, you'll get used to her. But if you would like to fix up the keep, then you're more than welcome to.
He looks at you and he looks back at Gabriella and you see him whisper into your ear. He just goes, if I'm being honest, I don't know if I want to get used to her.
Wow,
I sort of start laughing and I'm
I may
like,
not. I still have feelings, and they hurt.
He looks at you, he's like, and I've been stuck in a shield for over 100 years and I heard.
You know what? That's fair. It's honestly just fair. But I was once stuck in a Denny's.
I sort of turn to Trelio whilst this is
Denny's
happening and go,
here?
well, where's
The
this
old Denny's.
weapon of yours?
You, Trelio? That's who you're talking to?
Yeah.
He looks at his brother and he just looks back at you and he goes, follow me. And he takes you back to the back room again. And as he takes you back to the back room, he opens up, like, the wall, and he motions you to go in, and then he also motions the rest of the party to come along with to see the weapon.
Ooh,
I sort of look at the group and go,
arrows.
you're gonna like this. And I start walking through.
Do you all follow?
Yeah.
I pick up my shield and head, and I come on through.
Hana, as you're going through, you see the dwarf, like, Ladoran come up next to the side of you, and he just goes, "So I've never seen one of your like. What are you called?"
What are those?
Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?
You just call him Weather Boy?
Oh my gosh. I get it.
I'm just gonna go, pancake to you.
He looks to you, he goes, "You want me to call you Pancake?"
And I just kind of and shrug him off as I keep walking in.
Her name is
All
Hana.
three of us face palmed. All three of us.
She goes by Hana. She likes pancakes. She goes by Hana's. Hana, not
What
Hana singular.
what is the being called? Like I understand the name, but who
I look at him,
or
I
what
look
is
at
she?
Gabriella, and I poof my gun out, and I shake my head back and forth like, "Don't you do it. I'm an endangered race. Don't you tell him."
I don't know this.
I sort of look at Hart, like I turn around and I go,
And you've done this so much.
Hart
She
is the
puts out her
little one
gun.
of the group, and I just carry on walking.
And I
He-
poof my gun away and look at Galax and just shake my head slowly like, "Yes."
He just goes, "All right, I guess we're keeping secrets then." And he walks with you guys. As you guys go into this back room of Trelio's cave, you do notice a few different mechanical objects. You notice some cannons that look to be salvaged from different ships that are very rusted and have the remnants of what you could assume to be barnacles on them. You also notice a few different, like, pots that seem to be able to be tipped over and brought back if it's a certain weight. And as you guys travel further and further down, the hallway kind of opens up into this bigger room, where on this bigger room you can see a giant mechanism that is covered with a cloak. And as he walks in front of it, Trelio turns around and he just goes, "So, you guys, ready for the big unmasking, I guess?"
I'm sort of like,
By all means.
because I haven't
guess.
told the group, so I'm like, "Yee."
As he grabs the cloak and he looks over at his brother, he just goes, "Do you mind helping me with this?" And his brother comes over, and together on three, they pull the curtain down, and they just grab the cloak and start pulling and pulling. And as it pulls, you notice a giant figure of what appears to be a crossbow of sorts. And it's what appears to be 3 separate crossbows stacked on top of each other. And he just goes, "So if you don't mind, I made some improvements while you guys were at the cave. It's pretty easy to smith out really fast." And he just looks at it, and he points to the back side here, and he pulls a lever, and as he pulls a lever, the back plate falls off of the crossbows, and you see 3 large arrows come sliding out of it. And he just goes, "This is what I was offering your friend to help you with your keep this time. Hopefully next time it's attacked, nothing will happen to it with this bad boy in there."
Are these
Is that
ballistas?
3 ballistas.
Yep.
I turn to the group and I go, "And this is gonna be our answer to your brothers."
It's like mine. I pull out my crossbow, but bigger.
He looks at you, he's like, "If you were to shoot this bad boy, I think it would kick a little more than that little splinter there."
Don't insult Splinter, damn it. He's not little.
He looks over at you guys and he just goes, "Now I know that there have been a few dragons spotted in the area, and I figured this would be the answer to that."
Dragons spotted in the. How did you know about them?
It's hard to mask a dragon flying in the sky.
Yes, but was it like a complete dragon, or was it something different?
He looks at you, he's like, "It's in the sky flying and it has a tail. I don't know what you want from me. It looks like a dragon.
I look at Gabriella and go, dragon, and like really like intently stare.
I speak to Rosalind and I was like, it could be them. In Celestial.
It's kind of what they're following too.
Yeah. But my concern is them getting hurt in the process.
Same.
I start to speak in common to the to Trelio. Do you remember seeing what direction?
He looks at you, he's like, the direction was roughly, northwards. Last I saw them, but this was a few months ago.
Of course.
But I'm
Have
just
you
saying,
heard-
dragons are very, tend to not like the buildings of many races, so best, safe than sorry.
Had you heard any rumors of the dragons being spotted recently?
He sits there for a few seconds, like, contemplating. He's like, I don't really talk to very many people. I get a few merchants on the road every now and then, but, one was coming
Travel
from...
and talk.
Exactly, that's what I'm getting to if you'd hold your horses there.
I only
And-
have one horse and it's dead.
He goes, I've had a few merchants come by and, we wave them down with, you know, the others that have been helping me. And, one of them has mentioned, pray tell of a dragon that landed near Priestio, but other than that, I have no idea.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's-
speak to Gabriella and Celestial. It all leads back to Pricio.
We need to go immediately. Let's head back to the keep and then
When it was flying, was it dragging its nuts through the sky?
I will kick Hana as hard as I can.
You see Ladoran as you say this joke, he just lets out a bellowing laugh and he like puts his hands on his knees as he's laughing and he looks over at Trelio and he goes, oh, come on! You used to love jokes like that, brother.
Okay. He's still naked right now. Did
Yeah.
he ever get clothes?
He's still naked. He has no shame. He's a proud Dwarven man. You guys never said anything to him.
Okay, I'm walking out. I'm leaving.
I think so. Wait, there was how many horses did we take? We took 2 horses in 1 cart, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Galax, Rosalind and I have to take care of a few things. We'll meet you back at the keep, I guess. Do you want to come with?
I sort of look and go, well, if you run into the problem, you know where to lead them.
I forgot about that problem.
Yeah. I sort of just go, your funeral, and I sort of like don't do a finger gun as a joke, like, you know, I'm messing, and I start like talking to Trelio and Ladoran about moving the ballistas.
I'm just concerned for, well, you know. So
I sort of turn back like really slowly and sort of just go, I know, and that's why you need to go and do your thing.
We got 2 options here. Gonna say to Gabrielle and Celestial, the cave that we have to go investigate, or head to Pricio.
I replied in the same language. I think Pricio. I think it all leads back to Pricio. That's where we'll find everyone eventually. That's where it started, and that's where it probably will end.
Hopefully we can find some answers there.
Also, we should really find your dad.
I mean,
Now that I think
your
about
wolf.
it.
And your wolf.
and my wolf.
You
that
know, I'm not in this
hoping is
conversation.
with my dad, but
He's probably still chilling in the village. Like, where did everybody go to? Who turned
I
over
doubt
here?
it. I think he would have left with my dad.
Pork?
Fucking, no one's fed me yet, and it's like 10.
It is feeding time. Gabriella's wore off a little bit on him.
I'm assuming he would have noticed that there were dragons coming and left with my dad.
Oh my gosh. But as you guys are speaking in Celestial and doing this, Galax, you feel Ladoran's hand kind of reach up and grab onto your shoulder and kind of try to pull you down to his level to talk to you.
I kneel down. I have respect. I kneel down.
He whispers in your ear and he just goes, "So, I already asked the other one this, but he looks at your skin and he kind of like looks at the scales on your like underneath it. He just goes, I don't know what you are either."
I sort of look at him and go, and I like as I'm bopping down, so like my knees are gonna be in front of him. I'm gonna like scrape a tiny bit off, and like go like this, and I go, "Do you want to have a guess?" And I'm like holding the piece of skin in my hand at this point. So I've like got like it's literally tiny, but like I've literally just like shown him that I have 2 layers of skin, essentially.
He looks at you. He just goes, "You look like an overgrown kobold."
And I go, "You're halfway there. I'm cool." And I start explaining, you know what it is essentially.
He looks at you. He's like, "You guys really exist then?"
I just go, "Yup."
I've only heard of you guys in fairy tales, like kind of like superhero kind of stuff, you know.
I sort of pick up on this. My head just grows.
He looks at you. He's like,
I just, like,
"The only quirks that I've ever been told of have been in tall tales and in fables, where one of the orcish warriors just looked kind of like a dinosaur of sorts, and he would be taking out swaths of enemies, but I never thought that they would be true."
We found
I
him
sort
in
of like
jail.
while he's saying that, I sort of make a joke.
Yeah, he's a
Well,
criminal.
convict.
And then I kneel down and go,
It's like, oh yes, the great noble warrior. Yeah, he was in prison.
He was in prison, you know.
He was looking for his axe in
You
a
said bail.
universe.
I thought you said at a sale. I was like, oh, he's a 2 for 1.
You know, he was just
Okay.
thrifting one day.
That's why I was like, he's literally a 2 for 1.
Oh my gosh.
Like, this is why Gabriella said he's the pet. She just bought him at a pet store.
Look, that was a cover, and I had zero enjoyment from it as she starts giggling through.
He looks at you all. He's like, "Well, seems you guys had quite a journey to get here."
Are you still? He's still naked. I just
He's
realized
very
that.
naked still.
I sort of
Well,
like
I'm gonna
take
be
a
looking up
small,
at the
I take a
ceiling.
small rag and sort of just you're like
Is
He-
the
I
rag big
wanna,
enough?
cover that.
He looks at the rag and he looks over at you. He's like, "Oh, I'm not sweating." And he,
I'm leaving. I'm going outside. I'm leaving.
all right.
Anyone
Look
dispel
at him and
darkness,
go.
please.
I sort of kneel down and go, "Well," and I like slap his, yeah. And
You
I
slapped
go,
his
"That's a
double?
problem."
I've already gone at this point. I'm
Hold
not
on.
there. I'm just gone.
Hold on.
Are you slapping
on.
his penis?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm leaving.
Why?
Wait, isn't that the traditional Korg hello? Wait, am I wrong? It's the Wicked Witch of the Eastburg. And tell me I'm
Oh my gosh. He looks at you and then he looks at your hand as you go to like reach for it and he grabs you. He's like, "Whoa there, I'm not like that, sorry."
And I joke and go, "I'm messing. It's just that we don't want to see it." And I offer the rag again.
He just goes, "Fine." And you see him take the rag and he just throws it to his brother. He's like, "Do you have a spare set of clothes around?" And as his brother says that, like, as Ladoran asks them, you see Trelio just nod and, like, motion towards, like, one of the, like, pathways in the cave to go to. And he says, "Before I go, I've always wanted to try this." And he looks at you, and he goes, "Do you by chance speak Draconic?" Yes, because you're a kobold.
Yeah.
That's why he's asking. Or, well,
I go,
you're...
Yes.
He looks at you, he just goes... In Draconic, he just goes, "Thank you very much for having a nice day." You see him smile very widely, and he just goes, "How did I do?"
I sort of look at him and go,
Wait, what do you say in Draconic?
Just thank you very much, have a nice day.
and
Oh.
I speak back to him in Draconic on purpose and go, "You're very welcome. You said it all wrong." And I nod.
He
I'm
just-
saying it.
He just looks at you, he just goes, "I'll have to look that up." Anyways, you see him walk back out the door.
I like this guy. I like this guy. I'm glad I got him out.
And you see him.
Well, no, by the way, Azzy.
Well, he hasn't come back with clothes on, but he left because you guys were upset with him.
2 young ladies. Well, old young ladies.
Young for your race, but older than most.
Yeah,
How old are you?
You don't ask a lady her age. The fuck?
Anyways, as you guys are, as Rosalind and Gabrielle leaves the cave, Trelio, starts talking to Galax about how he's gonna move it. He just explains that they're gonna have to take it apart and then move it, like, piece by piece, but it'll get done pretty fast with the help of his little, helpers that he's been having around, and he just, for a second, he sits around and he just goes, his skin kind of turns really pale for a second, and he just goes, I forgot about the helpers. Oh, he's not gonna like that. And he looks over, he just goes, do any of you guys know how to, make something look not what it is?
I sort of like
Poof my gun out.
and I sort of like slowly. I'm scratching my head, but like I'm eyeballing Hana a little bit.
I can make something blend in.
Are the other 3 random people just like sitting in his house?
The other 3 people are still, like, in the other room when you guys left
I pull
them.
him in a little closer, and I kind of point to the trigger. See this?
We kill him. We kill the Batman.
So you have chosen murder.
I touch, things turn red.
Red?
Surprise.
He looks at you, he's like, are you meaning you're trying to kill stuff?
Kill.
Death isn't a concept for Hana.
What's kill?
That's my trigger word. Bang.
No, her trigger word is Hana. It's literally what?
Her trigger word's Gabriella Blackwood.
Oh god, everyone's dead at this point.
Oh my gosh.
Back.
He just looks at you, he's like, I'm not looking to kill people, young one.
I put my gun away slowly.
What did you need, Trelio?
So while he's gone, and you see him, like, start getting, like, a hushed tone and, like bending down a little bit.
This now. Okay.
He just goes,
It's a dwarf.
well,
Why is he bending down? That's so low.
he's a hob-elf, he's not a dwarf.
Oh, okay.
The hob-elves are about
Don't
the...
be racist.
So hob-elves with prosthetics are about the same height as you, as a normal elf, essentially.
Okay.
And he goes, so... The, elves that are around might depict something that he doesn't want to see, but I use them as a sort of trigger to hopefully bring some memories back to him when he was in the shield. Obviously, that might not have worked, but if he sees him now, it might be...
What memories are we talking about? Why is this an issue?
He looks around, he goes, I used the visage of my father as the clones that you guys saw when you were coming through here a little bit. But let's just say my father is who his mother left his dad for, so little issue there.
So they have a rocky relationship, father issues. I understand
Daddy issues
entirely.
again. Yep.
Don't
The
worry.
entire group understands this.
I know how to deal with this. I got this.
Sunglasses, really dark sunglasses. Gabriella Blackwood, champion of daddy issues. Oh my gosh.
She is a real housewife after all.
Can I go check on the 3 people that are still trying to get on their surroundings? By the way. Like,
Yeah, you
are
can.
They still there? Are they
You
still there?
can. Yeah, they are.
I
As
will-
far as you know, you're not in the same room as them right now.
I will go and check on them. Because
Alright, so you guys are just ignoring Trelio and his whole, proposition here?
Well,
No, I
I
mean,
can't
I'm
help
so
it, so-
I'm gonna go to Ladorn.
Yeah, Ladoran's in the back room getting dressed.
I'm going
Oh,
to.
hi. Just-
God, I'll
Just,
go to him. but not
hey.
essential. Not in an essential manner. I'm gonna go to him, and then I'm just going to try to distract him while Galax takes care of the other things.
Well, the thing is, it wasn't the people that came out of the shield that are the ones that look like them.
Yeah, no, it's the helpers.
Yeah, okay. Galax is going to check on the people that came out of the shield, though.
Oh, okay. Well, wonderful. It's like,
I'm worried one of the people actually has some kind of spell that could help. I can't cast it.
I know. I'm just saying. Like, I think Gabriella misunderstood.
Yeah, no,
is
I
the
did.
thing.
I did. Could we fashion some sort of mask then, perhaps, Trelio, real quick, and I can distract your brother long enough?
He looks at you. He just goes, I mean, aren't we going to be traveling a little ways to the keep?
Yes, but I can try to distract your brother long enough.
I hear this and I'm like, she's very good at that. Like as I'm walking out.
Very good at just.
The man hasn't touched grass in 100 years. I'm pretty sure the first thing he'll do is touch.
He hasn't touched air in 100 years. Imagine that.
You can't touch air, silly. It touches you.
Is water wet?
Oh my god, don't. Please don't.
Don't get ahead.
Anyways,
I need to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
go ahead, Hana.
I'm following.
Same here. Same here. So, yeah.
Oh, do you guys just want to take a quick break then?
I need to pee.
I mean, we
And get food, probably.
I mean, that's up to you. Well, we can do like your encounter with Trelio if you want while they're gone, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, do that.
We'll
All
do
right.
that.
No, like,
Okie
I
dokie.
went to the bathroom when you forced the guy into clothes, so.
Can you? Is there any way to change their visage now, or?
Have
um,
anything.
he looks at you. He just goes, I have magic, but not of that sort. And
Plastic surgery is often very hard. Yes.
you see him look at you, and he just goes, not what I mean. He just goes, I can fashion a couple masks really quickly, but need I remind you that they have nothing else on, except for, like, rags. So it'd be weird to have a metal mask on.
Yes, but for
And
now-
judging off of how he's been treating your two friends, he'd be curious.
Well, maybe we could tell him at least they don't like to be touched for whatever reason. They have boundaries. Does your brother understand boundaries?
He looks at you, he's like, he walked around this whole place naked.
Right. Okay. Let's say. Alright, I got it. If he touches them, they will die.
What?
No, that's what we'll tell him. Not that. That's not true. Hold on. Let me rephrase that. I'm not trying to kill your helper.
I just imagine Ladoran touches him, just Gabrielle. Just, oh, wonderful birds.
Oh no! What happened? Lador was like, everything I touch dies.
Instead of, like, Midas cold touch, Gabriella touches everything, turns to dust.
I'm basically a Thanos snap with my arrows.
I hate it. He looks at you, he just goes, I don't think that'll do the trick. He knows well enough that he can't really harm very many people. And me and him are one of the very few.
Because we lack the actual abilities to do what you need.
I have no spells for this. I don't know any spells to help with it.
He looks around and he just goes, you said you could stall him, right?
Yes. Believe it or not, I chat a lot. I've been kind of restraining.
Stop.
You see him put his hand over your mouth a little bit. He just goes, do you guys have anything that could be used as makeup?
I mean, I have like my general stuff, but that's like for me, and I spent a lot of money on this.
He looks at you, he's like, I think that, now might be the time to use it.
Actually, I actually don't have anything. Like, at least I don't think I have. Hold on. I have thieves tools, so there might be like something in there.
I mean, I feel like a thief's tools would have like makeup for a slight disguise or something.
Yeah, maybe.
But I think it.
Food if you want a DIY makeup.
Look up YouTube. Here, watch this makeup artist. Just do what she does. You can skip the first 20 seconds because she's not going to say
That was
anything.
legit. Like, a lot of you have DIY makeup from food. It's not good. Don't do it. Because it's horrible for your skin for multiple reasons.
Here, whatever you can find in here, feel free to use.
You just give him your whole backpack?
I watch him. I whisper to, but I tell Rosalind's like, in Celestial, watch him. Make sure he doesn't rummage through my personal stuff.
Why did you hit him in your entire bag?
That's the thieves' tools, not the whole backpack of stuff.
It sounded like it was the whole backpack of stuff.
Yeah. No. I give him like the tool set, like the thieves' tools.
Okay.
Like
okay.
Whatever I can find.
More clarity than that.
He just goes, we'll have to try and make do. And you see him start walking over towards the entrance that Galax walked towards earlier. And he just goes, do your best, talk his ear off. It's been 100 years, I'm sure he'd love to hear everything.
Any particular subject that he'll just ramble on for hours for?
He looks back at you and he just goes, anything. Really. And he just keeps on walking out.
Oh, I got it. Alright, perfect. I know what I'm going to do.
I'm so scared.
Oh boy. Scared.
No, same.
I swear, if this turns into another Skoth encounter, I'm going to hate it. Oh, by the way, flying. Anyways,
That's what Shin does. I was like, okay, Bungo.
Anyways, Trellio's leaving to go towards the place where Galax is going right now as well. So do you guys, Rosalind, Hana, what are you guys doing?
I am just sticking to Galax.
Okay. Rosalind?
I'm apparently watching this guy rummage through the pools.
He's walking out towards the place where Galax is. He hasn't gone through it yet, so.
Oh. Okay,
yeah.
well, I guess I'm following him.
Alright.
Sneaky.
Just because I really don't know if I want to roleplay a naked conversation.
Okay, first off, I'm going to knock. I'm not gonna actually be inside.
We barge in.
So I knock on the door and then I kick it open and say, I'm Gabriella Blackwood.
We'll come back in 2 minutes. We just say, Gabriella, so we fucked.
No. Not that kind of campaign. Okay, so which one do you guys want to do first?
Also, yeah, did you turn off your camera?
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
not gonna camp it now, sorry.
Okay.
I'll go to the lizard man first because I resonate with lizard people, I guess.
yeah, you kind of know.
It's the lizard. The lizard folk is the one girl among the three there.
Oh yeah. I'm kidding.
Don't you have a boyfriend?
He's gone, so therefore he's like, oh, new target.
Back on the market, single baby.
I was kidding.
Jesus Christ.
No, I go to the lizard because
didn't even grieve.
Alright. Jesus Christ.
You're the one that did it. Don't you Jesus Christ us. You're the one that did it.
He also did flick a man's wing wang.
Try.
What's with you today?
He's down bad. Galax is down bad.
I'm lonely.
Apparently.
Jesus Christ.
Oh. Moving on.
As you walk up to the lizard woman, you see that she's like just kind of sitting in the corner, like kind of in a fetal position, like looking around, trying to figure out what's going on in the surrounding areas. And as you approach, she kind of cowers back a little bit.
No, I'm joking. I'm gonna sort of like go. No. Like we were the ones that helped you, like get you out. Everything's okay. You're safe.
She looks at you and just goes, "Back away."
I sort of like, okay. And I like take like one step, and I'm like, you want to talk now?
She goes, fine. What are you doing here?
I go, now, my name's Galax. You was in the shield that was on my arm for probably about 2 or so months. I don't know how long you've been in the shield, but I was one of the people that helped you get out.
She looks at you and just goes, what are you talking about? A shield?
I point to the anvil.
She looks at the shield and she just looks back at you and she just goes, I'm confused.
I go, you was in there, and I got you out.
She looks at you and she goes, I'm not stupid. I understand what you said.
I go, I can put you back in there. As a joke, obviously.
She looks at you and she looks back at the wall that she's cowering against. She just goes, I'd rather not be in there if that's preferred.
I look and go, well, I
Stop
was
complaining.
I go, that, and I was just gonna say that if you have nowhere to go, we have a place that you can stay at for maybe a couple of days.
She looks at you and she looks around. She goes, where's the river?
What river?
The river with all the other ones like me.
What year do you think it is?
She looks at you and she just like cocks her head. She just goes, I don't understand.
What year is it for you?
The same year for everyone else?
And that year would be?
As she looks around, she's like, I'm not dumb.
Okay, then tell me what year it is.
I stop her and go, have you seen one of my kind before?
She
Or and I point to Hannah as well, like,
or her, I'm assuming. Or
Or her.
she looks at you and then she looks down at Hannah and she just goes, yeah, I see her folk all around. Why?
I sort of turn to Rosalind and go, that explains it. So you've never seen me before, and I turn back to the lizard lady and go, so you've never seen me before?
I haven't seen you, no. I'm first time meeting you.
My kind.
She looks at you, she goes, I haven't seen something like you in ever. No.
In years.
In years!
I sort of look at Hannah and go under my breath and go, dumb, she's dumb, she's dumb. Like into my hand so it's muffled so she can't hear it.
And I just tell her the year and be like, yeah. You've probably been in there a lot longer than you think.
As you do like recite the year to her, she just looks at you and just goes, Stop trying to make this up.
Okay, well have fun on your own, lady.
I look to Hannah and go, if I give the signal, we might have to kill this man. like with my hand over my mouth.
I feel like
I just put my hand on my pistol. I don't.
She has been in a shield for God knows how long. You guys tell her a year that is completely outside of a livable range for her, and you guys are just like, oh yeah, we're gonna kill her. What?
I put the gun to her head and ask her, and I say, one last time. What
when you
year
feel
is
good,
it?
may I remind you?
What year is it?
She looks down and you see a scar on her like leg, on the thigh of her leg. She just goes, you act like your kind hasn't threatened me before.
And I pull the trigger. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
What are you actually doing then?
Tell me.
She slowly like looks at you and she grabs the gun and she repositions it to her head. She just goes, "Do it if you're trying to."
Pull out my scimitar and I slice her calf.
Why did we save this lady again?
She was in a shield. We had no choice. Anyway.
I'm gonna ask the other two what
You slice her
did for
calf, you
them.
said?
Yeah, I'm gonna give her the old double poof, poof to gun away and poof to scimitar out and give it like a little back slicey. of
As
the
you
calf
slice
and then
her
just
calf,
walk
you
away.
see her wince a little bit, but she doesn't seem to be very responsive to it anyways.
And I'm like talking like paper cut deep.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to respond too much to her
And then
to
just
it.
Put it away and then walk away.
She looks at you and she goes back to her like corner. Which one are you going to talk to? Because there was an elvish man and a human that popped out.
I'm gonna ask the elvish man
Alright, what are you asking him?
what year it is to him.
He looks over at you and he looks down at his hands and he's like counting. He just goes, "Well, depends. Is Ellen still on the throne?"
No.
He just goes,
Generous. And degenerous.
He just
I'm gonna
goes,
assume it's a no, but
he looks at you, he just goes, "Well, I don't know how long I was in there, so I don't know what year it is."
do you have any memory of being trapped in the shield?
He sits there, he's like, "I was in there for a while. It was a void. It was lonely at first, and then slowly, not as much, but it seemed like the void slowly got filled, and after a while, we all started saying the same things, but over and over again, and then after a few minutes longer, just quietness."
Do you know who put you in the shield?
He looks over to you, he's like, last I remember, me and a friend were working on a new type of magic, and then all of a sudden I was gone.
Wonder. What's your friend's name?
He looks down and he's like, "My friend is he like grabs his head a little bit. He's just like, "You think I'd remember something like this?" And he's sitting there. Hear him mimicking the same noise that Ladoran was making before, trying to remember the name of it. And he's just mimicking a hard sound. And he's like, I don't, nothing comes to mind.
I wonder if they all ended up by the same person. Okay. Don't know what else to ask them. You guys have any input for this?
I have a gun.
I put it in their mouth.
It go boom.
I input into mouth. Oh
Gave up
my
on the
god.
lizard lady at this point, so
Galax, you look like you want to say something there, Galax.
he's eating too.
Yeah, stop eating chocolate, Galax. This wouldn't happen if you had pancakes instead.
Thought you weren't supposed to feed chocolate to lizards.
No, that's dogs. But I mean, he is a pet. They just say don't feed your pets chocolate, so.
Exactly. The same thing.
I'm gonna offer the same thing that I offered to the lizard lady, that he can stay with us for a couple of days if he needs to.
Oh no, you invited the lizard lady.
She didn't really respond.
Yeah, I know.
We'll
We'll get back to her in a minute. Don't worry.
He looks over at you. He goes, "Where is with us?"
I sort of look at him and go, does Nightshade Keep ring a bell?
He sits for a few seconds. He's like, well, I remember a beach by that name, but no buildings or structures, no.
Well, there's a castle there now, bitch.
He looks around. He just goes, I mean, the beach was beautiful during the nighttime. I wouldn't mind seeing it again, I guess. So, as long as I can stay and then figure out what the next move is, I might be able to do that. But how do I know I can trust you a lot? How do I know that you guys aren't?
I got you out of the fucking shield.
Yeah, and the same magic that put me there might as well get me out.
Checkmate. Fair play. Galax does not know what to say. Galax is annoyed that they are so witty.
At this point, you have nothing to lose.
What she said. What Rosalind said.
Go ahead and roll me a charisma check real quick.
Okay.
All I know, 2 + 2 is 4, -1 is 3.
17.
All right. All right. He looks over at you. He just goes, well, I suppose you have me there. I don't even have the what appears to be the clothes on my back when I entered the void, so I guess this does seem like the most viable option right now. You see him, like, stand up, and he like, snaps his fingers a little bit, and you see some robes, like, magically form over him. He's like, well, glad to know that little trick still works.
I gesture him to the back room, where,
Yes, the back room. Let's
go! Back room percent! Oh my god.
it's been a while. Anyway, I gesture him to the back room because I want him to help. Move
Oh my gosh. He's like, all right. I don't know what I'm supposed to do back there, but assuming I will find somebody to tell me what to do. Good day, and I guess thank you for getting me out of that shield or something.
I sort of
Maybe
nod.
get your name before you run back there.
Yeah. What's your name?
He looks at you and he goes, Leon.
Lian or Leon?
Lian.
Alright. I'm gonna go back to the lizard lady and see if she's calmed down. Has lizard lady calmed down a little bit yet? Can I get a little bit closer without her saying back off?
As you approach, she looks at you and she gives you
evil eyes. Jesus.
well, that's what she does. She looks at you and she like sneers at you when you come by.
I see what Han had like done, and I see the like little thing, and I'm like, did my little friend try to reason with you?
And she looks at you and goes, your little friend just doesn't need to be around.
Maybe
I
you
saw
don't need to be around.
I like just nodded. I'm like, go help the old guy over there, and I'm like, and I'm okay. I can lose my patience very quickly. I'm speaking in my head at this point, just out loud, not out loud, but in my head. So it's in my head, but I'm speaking out loud so you guys can.
Yep.
There we go.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lose my patience. Was the fairy race around the? Oh, I point to Hana. Was there a lot of them?
She looks at you and she goes, yes, they were. Me and them, my people and theirs, lived around the same area. Same forests, we lived in the darker parts.
I sort of look and go, well, since you've been in there, a lot has changed.
She looks at you and she goes, and how is that supposed to change my view on them? I say good riddance.
That's what Papa has my go. It's your funeral because the one that's still alive has a very quick temper. And I go, but I will say this. I will give you my proposition again. You don't have to stay for long. All I'm saying is, worst case scenario is you stay for a couple of days and then you fuck off.
She looks at you and she just goes, and can you make sure that that one doesn't come near me?
You have my word.
I give her a toothy grin.
You see her look.
Just hasn't left. Just hasn't left.
You see her look back at you, and she just slaps her tail really hard on the ground, and she just like gives a little hiss in between her like jaw, and she just goes, "Keep her away from me, and then I'll see from there."
I look at her and I go, "You think that's a problem? You haven't even met me or my kind."
She looks
And I
at
sort of
you
like-
and she goes, "Big lad trying to play all intimidating, huh?"
Who said I was intimidating?
I don't know what you want at this point, man. Like, tell me. Tell me. You seem intimidating here when you say you think that's scary.
I'm just trying to point out that Hana isn't the only thing that they need to worry about a little bit.
Wrong.
She-
I am the only one.
Godzilla beats that.
You're right, Godzilla beats me, but there ain't no Godzilla here.
All right. She looks at you and she just goes, "Whatever may be, I'm not gonna stick around long, but I appreciate the offer."
You're welcome. Didn't say you had to stay long. Cheers. And I'm just gonna walk off. And I'm gonna
One
look at
douchey
Hana and
lizard.
go. I'm gonna look at Hana and go. Just do what you usually do and just stick by me. If you get the signal, kill. And I'm gonna carry on walking.
All right.
I-
Are you guys going to the human now?
Yep.
I guess. Yeah.
I went to the human while they were.
Yeah, well, they were doing
Yeah.
I
that.
want nothing to do with her at this point.
You didn't even
I
talk
want-
to her. You're just like,
I
nope.
want absolutely nothing to do with her.
Listen, Galax is an asshole, but when other people are assholes, at least he tries. All right.
Okay. What are you saying to the human?
I'm gonna ask him if he remembers who put him in the shield to see if maybe he'll do the same thing as the other two.
You're just asking who put him in the shield?
Yeah.
He looks at you and goes, "Oh, a shield?"
Oh god. That's another one.
He looks at you and he just goes, "Yes, it does appear that there was a few of us in there."
Well, at least he's actually. That's the first time someone's even said that. Out of all three of them, he's the first one to go, huh.
I don't know if that's a good reaction or a bad reaction. I just like, oh, I guess I wasn't there.
You can try to check with insight, like you can see if that's a evil, malicious, or something. I guess I don't know.
At this point, I just think he is like phased out, has no clue what's happening anymore.
It was a wicked party.
Okay, what year do you last remember it being?
He looks down at his hands and he looks at it and he just you hear him whisper something and he looks and he just go, and he turns back and he tells you today's date.
Like actual present day date or?
Yeah, present day.
Were you locked in the shield today somehow? Or you
He
just somehow kept track of the years?
he looks down at his hand again and he shows it to you and you don't see anything on his hand, but he just goes, "I kept track here."
He's been in there for ages.
Okay.
He has been in there
What
for so
year
long.
do you first remember getting trapped in the shield?
He just looks down again. He just goes, "Well, And you see him like start rolling his sleeve back a little bit. He just goes,
Oh god, he's been in there forever.
"Time's
Okay,
weird.
like, just like-
Time's weird." And you see him squint his face a little bit, and he lets out another date, but it seems to be further in time than what it is right now.
The future further?
It seems to be further in time, like future. He doesn't, cause it's around, I think, the year 970-ish, somewhere in this world.
It's
And-
stock.
And he straight up says, like 1300s, essentially. 1332.
Is the Mandalorian stuck in there? That's not what it's called, is it? Is that what it's called? No, that's not the word for it, is it? That is what it's called, isn't it?
Doc Brown, Back to the Future,
Yeah, the car. What's the car called?
DeLorean.
DeLorean. I call it
Mandalorian is a Star Wars.
I like it.
Leave me alone. There's a lot of. Listen.
Quick, Doc, to the mandolin.
Oh my gosh.
Love you,
I'm not
Angie.
turning my camera back on.
Angie, come back. We love you. It's
Oh my
okay.
goodness.
Pat, pat. Pat, pat.
No.
It might be on this side because Kira.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, he tells you that he was in the 1300s and it's like 970-ish right now.
What's your name?
Doc Brown.
No.
He looks at you. He goes, "Why? Why do you ask?"
I mean, do you want us to keep calling you? What is he? Is he an old man at this point, or just like a young human?
He looks like he appears to be an old man. Yes.
Okay. Do you want us to keep calling you old man? Like, I feel like that's very rude.
He looks at you and he just goes, "Guy will suffice."
Gaia?
Guy.
I'm gonna look at
Oh,
him
Guy.
and go.
Guy
I'm gonna
Fieri,
go,
is that you?
This is
Flavor Town.
I'm gonna look at him and go. You're the third person we've tried to talk to about this, and I am losing my patience. And you don't want to see me when I've lost my patience. What's your name?
He looks at you and he goes, "Are you a doctor?"
I'm gonna pull out my axe.
He looks at the axe and he just kind of inspects it and he just goes, "Fine craftsmanship. Who made it?"
Why do we only have 1 out of 3 that actually can hold a conversation like a normal person?
What are you doing?
Hold on. Let me just make sure I do actually have the axe. I do. Don't worry.
You have the axe I gave you too, which I don't know
I
how
gave
big
that
that
to
is.
Exton.
Oh.
And he kept it. I didn't want to have to kill a guy, man. While he's looking at it, and I'm gonna sort of go, "Yep, perfect angle," and just slice down on his neck.
On his neck?
Yep, like, because you said he's inspecting it. Like, oh, I need to turn my camera on for this. The way you was inspecting it, you said he was doing this. So like, I'm thinking that as he's doing that, so imagine my hands like that. He's sort of inspecting it like round that way,
Mm-hmm.
like underneath. So I'm assuming that his neck's gonna be like the perfect position for like a clean cut.
Oh my god.
So I'm
Can
just
I
gonna
stop
go-
him?
I'm just gonna toss it in my hand and go, "You don't need to know," and then just slam down.
Are you were, yeah, you would have been close. You can, as he comes down, you can try to stop him, I guess, yeah. Dexterity versus, dexterity right here.
Oh god, I have no dex. God!
What are you looking like that for? I don't know what you guys rolled.
I got 10.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. So as you go to grab it, you aren't quick enough and he's just slices down. As you slice down, you notice that your axe passes through his neck a little bit and then you hear a kung as it hits a little deeper than his neck.
Is he dead?
He doesn't seem to be moved. He looks over and he just goes, "Oh dear. My bad." And you see him like reach up and grab you, and as he grabs you, you notice his hand kind of sinks in to you before he grabs a hold and pulls you off, and he just goes, "Well, I guess that secret's a little up, isn't it? Okay, fine." And you see
He's not an old man. He's not an old man. He's something else.
He's a Terminator.
you see as like the weird visage of this man kind of fades out, you notice that it's another person like Makai that you guys have seen before.
Well, well, well. How the turntables?
And he just goes, "Well,
Tables have turned.
hello. How are you guys?" And you see that his visage is very different from Makai, whereas Makai has this literal shiny like iron metal looking stuff around him with mixed in with wood and stuff. This person seems to be like at least a softer-ish metal, and you can see the mark that your axe hit. It left a little dent into him, but it doesn't seem to have broken anything in this main working, and he seems to be a brighter orangish copper tone.
So Iron Man. Anyway,
Can I ask him what he is? Because we still don't know
C-3PO.
technically what they're called, right?
He looks at you and he just goes, "Well, I am a warforged. I guess that's what you would call it in these lands.
Makai ring a
But
bell?
he looks at you and goes, "Pardon?"
Does Makai ring a bell? It is Makai, right? The one that.
Yeah.
the-
the
Yeah.
one that's- yeah.
He goes, "Never heard of him."
Well, now that we got your race, I guess, can we know your real name rather than just Guy?
He looks at you and he goes, "Guy will suffice."
I look at him and go, well, we got one of your race back at the keep. So if you would like to join us for a couple of days and speak to him to catch up on what you might have missed or what's different, I guess.
He looks around
Feel free.
confused. He like stops you a little bit. He goes, "One of my race."
A Warforged, yes.
He just goes, "Has he told you where he's from yet?"
No. Do I know much about Warforged? Because I know what Galax would want to say, because he's actually quite smart. He just doesn't really give it up, I'll be honest.
I don't.
So would he know the history of a Warforged or no?
You would know like when the first Warforged was made and stuff like that, but you wouldn't be able to like tell like the inner workings or anything. You would be able to know what they are essentially.
I would sort of look at him and go, well, let's just say that you can talk to him when you come with us.
He looks at you. He just goes, "And he's at where exactly?"
So he's from the future, right? Just to clear that up, Mr. DM, he's from the future?
As far as you know.
I'm gonna say to him, Nightshade Keep.
He looks at you and he just goes, "Never heard of it."
Good, you're gonna find out when you come with us.
And he just goes,
Galax is getting annoyed.
"All right." Roll me charisma real quick.
Me.
Yep.
15.
All right. I had to do math in my head real quick and like recollect what you have been saying to him. I will. Yeah. Okay. He looks at you and he just goes, "Well, if there's promises of meeting others like me and possibility to, I don't know, have a little fun along the way, then I am all for it."
Good. Right, we managed to persuade all
Have
three of
been,
them.
like a non-creepy or assholey one yet that you've met?
No.
Yeah.
The elf isn't bad.
The elf wasn't bad.
The elf is like the. Oh.
And he knows
So-
magic, because he put
So
clothes
in my
on.
notes, I've got old man, actually Warforged. Elvish man, I put his name because he was actually alright. And then for lizard woman, I put bitch, Hana will kill.
Hana will more than likely murder them.
You just don't know when.
I'm gonna give you the signal, Hana. Don't you worry.
Like a
Don't you
shadow in the night.
I guess we'll go into the back room now.
All right, before
Explain
you
that we need to
do,
move.
let's go ahead and say, Gabriella, what do you want to do for Ladoran here?
Seemed so perturbed before this even started. Okay. I'm going to knock the door. Are you decent now? At least the bottom half?
As you start knocking on the door, you just hear him humming a tune, the same tune that you heard back in the cave with the giant coming up the cave shaft, the abyssal shaft. I hate saying that, but like that's the only term I can think, the pit. And he's humming to the same tune as that, and as you go and knock on the door, he just goes, what was that? Can you repeat that?
Ladorn, it's Gabriella. I'm the
cute one.
I'm the cute one. Oh my god. Actually, I don't think we've actually met, but I wanted to check up on you, making sure you're all right. You know, being trapped and all.
He goes, yes, I'm fine. Why do you ask?
Well, yeah, I just came to just check up on you because, I mean, you've been gone for quite some time, and I figured seeing family is a little bit, you know, both emotionally taxing, but also a very happy experience.
He just goes, oh, my brother might be a little weird sometimes, but I love him as he is. Why do you bring him up?
I have experience with siblings, and I do miss my family, so granted, he had been working so hard to try to get you out there. It would be nice for you to really be able to kind of let him be as emotional as he wants, I guess.
You hear him say, you sound a little flustered. Is everything okay?
Yeah, no, everything is fine.
It's all good.
Yeah, no,
Nothing to worry about here.
Your dad's not on the other side about the...
But what was that tune you were whistling? I feel like I've heard it.
He just goes, it's old prayer.
It's an old prayer.
Yes, why do you ask?
I heard it earlier.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Did old Trellio keep his religion after all? Said he's had his doubts.
It wasn't from Trellio?
No, it was in the cave.
It was in the cave? Okay, that's what I thought. I didn't hear it from Trellio. I heard it within the cave.
A cave? I'm sorry, but I do not know the cave of which you speak.
Well, it's a dark cave. You know how caves normally are.
You see, as you say that, he opens the door and you see him standing there, at least, like, he has a pair of coveralls, but he doesn't have them, like, pulled over his top half. He just goes, yes, most caves are dark. Come on. Come in.
I'm going to just slowly pace myself, and then I guess I'll close the door because for them, they can do whatever. Yes, well, there was a creature there, a crystal slug of sorts, and a giant man, and, well, just this abyssal place, and we heard these whispers. Me and my team, if you will. I'm the leader.
Gabriella Blackwood, maybe you've heard of me.
Name's being patented right now.
Trademarked.
Imagine patenting your name, guys. Definitely a Gabriella move.
Gabriella Blackwood, TM. The R with the circle.
Way to put respect on my name. How about put a lawsuit on my name? Jeez.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but yes, no, it was just a strange hearing that tune.
He goes, Crystal Slug.
Yes, it sounds rather crazy, but crazy has been our normal for the past few months, weeks.
It looks
like 2 days.
It's been a
How
couple.
many days has it
It's been a few weeks because of traveling and going to
Okay.
like waiting for the auctions, stuff like that. It's
Like,
probably
is it
almost been
working already?
it's probably almost been 2 months now. I would say in the world. But he looks at you. He just goes, "What? Who was the one humming the tune?"
We didn't. Wait, did we? Hear
Scoth was the giant
Okay,
that was
it
humming the
was
tune.
Scoth. Okay. Yeah, no, it was Scoth. He was a giant of sorts.
He looks at you. He just goes, "Anything out of normal for him?"
Well, he's in. Oh, no, that would be rude. Let me not be rude.
Well, he's kind of dumb.
No, but he did mention someone named Shen, who I believe was his teacher of sorts.
You see him sit there for a few seconds. And he just goes, "And you're sure it was a giant?"
I mean, he was mildly larger than normal, so
He was a large person.
I don't want to say anything to, I don't want to get canceled. So,
Do your thing, Twitter.
I don't want to say. But yes, no, he seemed to be of a giant variety. That sounds weird.
He's just like,
Do giants also normally worship this or say this prayer?
I've never met a giant in my life, much less one that lives in a cave.
It also makes you wonder how he got in there, and then how did he get out? Think about it. Sorry.
I'm surprised you guys are just now asking these questions, but I mean, we'll move on. Anyways,
Well, we were kind of dying, okay? That kind of puts...
No, you weren't. Not at the time that you talked to him. He saved all of you.
Half of us were just stuck inside somewhere trying to comprehend how to get out. And a giant man just come to save us. We're just gonna be like, alright, cool. You know?
Anyways.
Gabriella shower thoughts, it's fine.
Can you repeat what you said?
I don't know.
All I know is, anyways, he looks at you and he just goes, "Most giants are usually above ground and live in, well, sometimes way above ground, now that I think about it. Anyways, and live in environments that you wouldn't really come across in your normal life, I would say. But being adventurers, I guess that you might have had a rare encounter. I don't know. But giants, as far as I know, don't typically hum this prayer, no. Because it's something that we learn young in our little society down underground. But I mean, obviously the underground life was not for me, so I struck out on my own.
So maybe this Shen guy taught him, perhaps?
Perhaps.
He did seem like a father figure to him.
Perhaps. I don't know. But if he knows the prayer, then I hope that he's doing well. Very few still hum it today, but, or at least I last remembered, but hey.
Could you teach it to me?
Do you even know what the prayer is to?
No, but I feel like a little divine intervention in my life is needed every now and then. Even though I guess I am a
Do you
divine
need Jesus
intervention.
in your life, Gabriella?
Look, I'm trying a stall tactic, okay?
He looks at you and he just goes, "Well, I was humming it before somebody came in and interrupted me, so I can continue humming if that would please you."
I'm so sorry to hear that.
He's just like, "I can continue humming it if you would like to try and commit it to memory. But I'm not one to teach another, so I guess that's probably the best I could do for you."
Is it in Dwarvish?
It's humming.
Is he humming in Dwarvish?
No.
No? Okay, just making sure.
Anyways, You hear him continue humming, and every now and then he will stop as he's like putting on the rest of his outfit. You see him take his coveralls and put it all the way on, and he looks around looking for a shirt, and as he finds one, he just goes, "So, not often that we see a being such as yourself down here. What brings you to this place?"
Well, okay, well, this is a little bit of a long story. And then I proceed to, like, discuss, tell him the whole, like, my father is blah blah.
My father is not Gabriella Blackwood.
So, I left the Celestial Plane quite some time ago because of, well, let's just say I have a little bit of father issues that I don't like. So, then I met Rosalind, had some bread, met Galax in a prison.
I'll be right back.
All right.
Yeah. This is a fun, normal time. Met the little one in a barn.
About that little one. What are they? Now that they can't hear.
I don't quite know myself. I just travel with them.
And he looks at you and he goes, "And you're the leader and you don't know your own crew?"
If they can fight, that's all I really need them for.
He looks at you and goes, "Utilitarian." Okay. And he goes, "What about the big one?" And he finds his shirt and he slowly puts it on and he like kind of awkwardly puts it under his coveralls and puts it through his hand through as he's talking about this.
Well, he's a lizard of sorts, but that's pretty much all I know. Again, if he can fight, which he's very capable. That's all I really care about.
He goes, "All right."
I've only known them for 2 months, so... Well, except for the elf, who I've known for quite some time.
And he just goes, "And what's the deal with the elf then?"
Why are you so curious about the people I surround myself with?
Unlike you, if I'm gonna be part of this crew, I'd like to know who I'm working with.
Yes, and that's going to be something that'll happen over time, I feel. I mean, even I don't know everything I need to know about them, but I am willing to trust them with my life, and that should be enough.
And he looks at you and he goes, "I'm sorry if you can't comprehend the situation that I'm in. And I'm sorry if I come off as joking sometimes, but it is my life that I'm talking about, and more so the life of my brother as well. And if we're gonna run in these circles, then I'd very much like to have more information."
What I can assure is your protection, and we will do everything we can to make sure that you are safe. That is what I can assure you.
He sits there and is like, "I've been assured that before." And he slowly, like, finishes getting ready. He's like, "Anyways, can I go and talk to my brother now?"
I don't know if it's right. Let me think.
Actually,
What is a brother? What really is a brother?
he looks at you and he goes, "Trelio." And he starts walking towards the door.
But question is, how do we know we can trust you? You've been in that shield for over a century.
He looks over at you, he's like, "Well, I guess that's something you're gonna have to find out along the way." In like a mocking tone.
Yeah, no, I picked up on that.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, just making sure.
Can I just kind of like, I don't know, like, I can't even sense to see if anything. Oh God, the non-magic user. Would I have reason to believe by now that they should be done with whatever they needed to? Like, Trillian never really gave me a time, but he said quickly. And it felt like a while?
You gotta think, we did all that while you're also doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
So, maybe, you don't know. You don't know how long. He never gave you a timestamp.
Okay, I am going to pretend to twist my ankle. I'm going to fall and twist my ankle.
Performance check.
Okay.
Oh God!
Oh no! I've fallen and I can't get up. That's an 18.
Ooh, he rolled 17.
Thank you for +3. Oh. Ow! 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 Oh, I'm a little clumsy. Sorry. It's great, but not very functional.
He looks at you and he just goes, "You can walk it off, can't you?"
I pretend to like. I was like, yeah, no, I should. Okay. Ow. All right. Yeah. No, it'll be. Owie!
All right. He looks at you and he just goes, "All right, take the shoe off.
All right, I'll like
Roll for shoe taking off." I'm just kidding.
sleight of hand.
You roll a nat 1 and throw the shoe in his face.
Okay. Yeah. No, so I take off the shoe.
Okay.
And,
As you do that, he looks at the foot that you like rolled, and he just goes, "Where does it hurt?"
like in this part right here, like that part. I'm just trying to be as vague as possible. Like the roly part of the bone.
The roly part of the what? He sits there. He's like, "I need you to stop moving your hand so frantically, so I can actually tell where it's at."
All right. It's just are you even a doctor? Like.
He looks at you. He just goes, "No."
Oh God.
He starts getting up. He's like, "If you're gonna be that way, I can just leave, and you can
No,
just
no,
not
I'm
walk
sorry,
out
I'm
of
sorry.
here."
I'm sorry. Please continue.
He's like, "All right, can you show me where you hurt yourself?"
Like in this lower part, and I tried to like show like the ankle, and I feel like I like may have sprained it.
And as you do this, he's like, "All right," and he holds out his hand. He's like, "Can you give me a knife?"
Sure.
He's like, "Don't worry, it's not for your ankle."
Okay. It's for your heart.
Ah! All right, so
I had the,
okay, you did hand him the
yeah,
knife.
I did head.
As you give him the knife, you see him take his sleeve and he like pulls it and he starts cutting the sleeve off. And as he cuts the sleeve off, he cuts it to where like it's a strip instead. And he slowly starts wrapping your foot. And as he's wrapping your foot, he just goes, "So, if I'm gonna be adventuring with you guys and you can't tell me the other people, why don't you tell me what you are about?"
Pancakes.
Well, what a story. Okay. So
Hana?
I started-
I'm about him.
it's like, wait, you want to know about me? And like Gabriella's like face lights up. She's just like, let me tell you. So long ago, my father. And
So 3 hours later, Gabriella finishes her story.
Yeah, basically. I tell him how I grew up rich, and it's just like, I know, shocker, I understand. I don't seem like a very rich person. But yes, I grew up very, very healthy and very, very spoiled, but I was never like...
I was never spoiled per se.
I was never appreciated by my own father, unfortunately.
He looks at you and he just goes, "My mother had the same for mine." What?
Yeah. So you understand where I'm coming from. Whenever when you wanted pork chops, but he gave you like a roast instead.
Oh no, my father loved me. It's just my mother didn't love him.
Oh. Well, same. Well, no, not my mother didn't love your father because I don't think they've ever met, because that'd be really weird. But my mother was in an arranged marriage with my father, so I still call him father to this day. I don't know why.
He just
But yeah.
goes, "All right then. Well, if that whole story is over, and
Well,
after
there's actually a little bit more. Then I left and then I came down to this.
Where's the
mortal
fast
plane.
forward button? This goes on for a while.
Flying things. And a wolf?
Maybe? I don't know where the wolf is now.
Saskatchewan.
Orange juice and pancakes.
And now we're here.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, I'm gonna say that was enough time because I know Gabriella.
Mission accomplished.
Jesus Christ.
Did we
So
level
by
up because of that?
Oh my gosh. So as Gabriella stalls Ladoran, sorry, names are getting muddled now.
It's so long. He said his own name because his own name is Gabriella Blackwood.
We're all Gabriella. Oh my gosh.
Always has been.
You actually have a gun too? No! One appears behind Gabriella. Oh my gosh. Anyways, as Gabriella distracts Ladoran and you guys finish up with all the people that popped out of the shield and tell him, like, you know, where to go to help Ladoran with what he's doing, you guys all reconvene back near the ballista. By the time you guys get to the ballista, you do notice that most of it is being taken apart, and Trelio, when you guys get there, just smiles very wide, and he looks at you guys and he shows you a bunch of dyes that he made with the stuff that he's found around the workshop and stuff. He just goes, I think that we can clear this up really easily and it won't be a problem.
He said that to
them, yes.
to them. Okay.
So
You're still distracting a little bit.
Okay.
I'm excited that he's excited. So Galax is excited.
I want this for you. I want you to fool your brother.
He just goes, okay, so if we can get all three of the helpers in here, I'll doll them up and then we can move on with our day, hopefully.
We bring them in.
How long do you think she's gonna stall for? Oh, don't worry about that.
We just did. Who's stalling again? Gabriella? Got it. Alright, I will crawl to the people.
I will take a nice leisurely stroll.
We can take 3 long rests and a sandwich break.
All right. So as he brings them in and you guys take a look at the elf that came in from the cave, he looks at you guys and he hands the dice to each one of you. And he's like slowly the other 2 elves that he's been using to help with everything comes in as well.
I look at the die and go, my hand's too big to. I can't do this, and I offer it back.
He looks at you and he just goes, oh, it doesn't have to be good.
And I go, awesome, and I just chuck it over my shoulder, and it hits the elf and just all over the face.
Roll me a d20 for, let's say performance again. With disadvantage.
Okay.
And what are you, Rosalind and Hana, are you guys doing this?
I missed what happened because my sister came in.
Oh, no worries. Basically, Trelio handed you the die and asked you to do the makeup for the elves.
Oh,
Do it.
okay. Sure.
I got a 17 and a 19, both +2, so I got 19.
I'm rolling a stealth.
No. What?
So annoyed that worked.
So,
No, performance, I'm gonna say.
Oh, performance. Sorry.
Yes, because it's makeup's kind of like painting. I
Elf
mean,
makeup.
I only got a 9, so apparently I can't do makeup. That's okay.
I got. Oh god.
Hold on, my page is being.
Dude, if you're gonna do a 9, do it on the lizard lady, if anything else.
no, you're not painting the lizard lady.
Yeah, but might as well just add her to the list.
I mean, I could do Halloween costume gore.
Is that in your? Is that your freaking feat?
my repertoire. Why are you? Wait, what do you? You need to roll a d20, Gio.
I did 22.
Oh, okay, 22. So, despite all odds of Galax, he throws the dies over his shoulder, and as he does, it just goes, and it hits the elven looking man in the face, and as it hits him in the face, you turn around and it actually looks like pretty decent makeup. The stuff is set well, and it looks completely different from what the original was. And you see Trelio come along and just put like a hat on him to kind of cover up like any kind of possible recognition from the head shape that he could get from it as well. And as he goes along the line, Hana, how did Hana and Galax get good? Okay, anyways.
My dice hates me.
My dice loves me in certain situations.
All I can
like
tell
this.
you is my dice actually hates me. So.
Anyways, Hana somehow does a beautiful job as well and paints the makeup on pretty well. And you see Trelio do the same thing, put a hat on that one. And when it comes to Rosalind's turn, Rosalind's doing the makeup, and you do notice a few different like imperfections here and there, you know, some smudge marks here, some smudge marks there. And Trelio goes to the front, he just goes, I think it'll do. He doesn't look too closely at facial features, hopefully.
I can do my makeup. I clearly can't do other people's makeup.
He looks at you, he just goes, and your makeup looks lovely, but I mean, it just happens, you know? You don't practice on another person, then it goes like this.
I got it, and just slap him on the head with the rest.
D20 disadvantage.
Your luck's gonna run out eventually. Is it in that one?
I think it just ran out.
As you take the dyes and you just start slapping it on, you hit him on the face, and just with a puff of orange, it just comes out with the orange dye, and you see when you release your hand from it, his whole face appears orange now. No other noticeable traits. He just appears to be orange.
I turn back and go, wait, like, lick my finger and then do like a thumb mark across the forehead. Like
Simba.
that.
I think
Boom,
this
I do
is made
that
of
and I
Oompa
go,
Loompa.
Perfect.
It was Oompa Loompa, but put in the machine that Violet was put in to stretch her out.
Oompa Loompa would make it tall.
Oh my gosh. As you do that, you wipe some of the orange off, and now it's just his base skin, like his base skin tone, and you see Trelio look at you, and he just goes, how did you manage to mess this one up that bad?
I go, that's not my one, that's Rosalind's, and I point to my one, and I go, that's mine.
I'm helping, except
What do you...
Until you came over and helped.
He said it was gonna be okay, and then you're like, I got this, guys, no worries. Let me just loosen up my
I like your cut, G.
like, Jesus. He was literally in the middle of going like, oh yeah, it'll be fine.
Galax would do. Galax would do that. I'm playing my character.
Is there any way I can fix this, or is this just horrible at this point?
There's a lot of cakiness looking on this guy now, but if you want to try...
Oh god, it's a makeup.
Is there
It's
any
a
way I
makeup.
can clean this off and like fix it?
Hold
I
on.
grab the hat and like tilt it down further so it covers the face a bit more, and I go, and now it's a hat.
Meanwhile, in like fucking Hana land, like she is just painting like a fucking masterpiece.
I roll with disadvantage on performance, I guess.
Wait, what, me?
No, her. She's trying to fix it.
12,
At least save it a little bit.
14. The lowest I got was 14 because I just got an 18.
Okay, and I'm gonna subtract a little bit from that since it's already caked up, I guess.
I wanted to wash it off and then start over.
You are welcome.
Yeah, but now even if you do wash it off and start over, his face is wet now as well, so
Dang it.
like it's wet and it's
Don't
been
worry,
worked with.
You have a whole.
As you like wipe his face off and you try to get it dry to where you can work with it and all this, you start putting the makeup back on, and it's worse than your first job, but Trelio looks at it and just goes, well, maybe, and he pulls out the rag that you guys threw at Ladora to try and cover him up, and he just like wraps it around his face and covers it like with a bandana. And he just goes, Maybe this'll work, I don't know.
He has horrible face injuries. Let's go with it.
He just goes, alright, seems good.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Not any of us have minor illusion as a cantrip.
I
Nope,
wish I did, but I don't. I don't think I can
Liar.
even learn it.
I don't think he does. He has disguise self, I believe,
Yours is
and
self.
friends,
but I
yeah.
don't think-
And friends.
Yo,
Like I
Ladoran,
said,
we're buds, aren't we? Oh my gosh. As you do this, you notice the mumbling in the background from Gabriella and all the shouting from her falling dies down, and they start coming out of the room, and you see Ladoran kind of like grabbing his head a little bit as he's walking over towards y'all in his new outfit, and he just goes, all right, are we ready to move out now, brother? And as he says that, Trelio, like, visibly starting to sweat a little bit, just kind of, like, nods his head, and he's just like, go along with it, guys. We're gonna be fine. And he just goes, Ladoran, oh,
Is he
buddy.
helping me, by the way? Like, hobble over, or...
Ladoran, no.
Okay. Oh, wow. All right.
Can I see that Gabriel is struggling, and can I just go? Just start laughing.
I will put an arrow through your head. Remember that.
Oh no, but I'm your pet, remember?
I can put down a pet.
Jesus. Jesus. That went real fast. Anyways,
I sort of like gesture to wrestle, and I'm like, let's go then. Like,
aren't you two both the ones that almost died?
Yes, but I have more health right now.
Both of you guys almost died, and you're just like, we'll kill you, I promise. Oh my lord. Anyways,
but would we be any different? No.
Ladoran, like, looks at his brother looking kind of nervous, and he just goes, is everything alright? And Trelio is just like, yeah, everything's fine, brother. And he looks over at you guys and just goes, come on, let's go. And he, like, puts his head to the ground as he's, walking out. And as everybody, like, actually starts picking the stuff up and loading the cart up with the new parts for the ballista that he had made, and, hopefully, like, not breaking anything in the process, you guys do notice Ladoran, like, looking at the elves a little bit as he's, picking stuff up and moving it. And after he picks one of the pieces up, he notices Galax walking past him. You see, Galax, you feel like a shoulder check on your hip, and he just goes, hey.
And I sort of look down and go, hey.
He goes, what's up with those three that are helping him there?
They're under, you know, Trelio, weird spell guy. He's doing something weird, just controlling the people, you know. Just helping us out, and then they'll go away.
Roll deception for me real quick.
That was so good. If I don't get a good roll,
Am I near Galax?
Yeah, you would be probably near him. You'd be passing through and stuff.
Oh, you're okay.
Let's go.
What are you
19
gonna
plus
say?
2, 21. 21.
Alright. What were you gonna say, Rosalind?
I was gonna touch him with guidance, but he already was like, I'm fine. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
I got this.
So as you say that, he just goes, do you know their names?
I know just as much as you do.
He looks over at you, he goes, find that hard to believe, considering I've been gone for 100 years?
I mean, we
It does
just met
really
Kelly
I'm
not
gonna
too
look at
long
him and just-
ago.
I'm gonna look at him and just go, I came down here to fix a shield. He sent me away to go and do something. I came back, and now we're here. That's it.
Okay. As you say that, he goes, alright then. And you see him, like, start walking away from you for a little bit, but as he walks away from you, you see him walking up towards one of the elves to talk to them.
I'm gonna nudge Rosalind and, like, glare over, like,
I don't know how we're gonna stop him here. Other than
I pick up like a small piece of the. This is a bad idea.
He's walking
I
over
pick
to
up
the elves, right?
A small,
Yes.
Yeah, I pick
Okay.
up a small piece of like the thing that's like it's like throwable and catchable.
Small piece of what?
The ballista.
Okay, I was like, that's okay.
He's not tall enough. Can I walk over and like try and like kind of like guide him away? Like, oh, do you want to retale us with stories of your time, like how things were in the past? I don't know. Like away from the elves and just lead him.
Roll persuasion real quick.
Okay.
The story you need might I be
Gabriella completely clueless of the fact that he's going towards the elves. Oh, I can tell you a story. What'd you-
21.
21.
Yeah.
That's cool.
21.
All right. He rolled a 19. He looks at you and he just goes, "Oh, trust me, you don't want to know much about my time. Very boring. A lot of long nights just at the forge trying to figure out some new equipment." And as he says that, he starts going into these different stuff that he built for different important people of his time. And he starts to ramble a little bit, and he completely seems to forget about the 3 elves that he was going towards. And as he crisis averted. Let's go. As he goes into these different builds, you do hear him say some weird stuff about things that you might have seen before. He mentions an axe. He does mention an axe that he made for a very prominent general of his time with different etchings and carvings into it, and that he
Can I
tried
ask
to
him
get.
about the rifle?
Did you guys already ask him about the rifle? No, you asked Trelio.
Yes,
You asked
the other
Trelio.
one.
Okay.
That was
He,
before he was out as well.
as you are taking this stuff and he sets it on the cart and you bring out your rifle and you show it to him and he just looks at it, he just goes, "Where did you find this?"
At Nightshade Keep.
He looks at you and he just goes, "Well, I will say one thing. A talented smith worked with me to help build the beginning parts of it, but we never saw a finished product."
Oh, wholesome.
Do you know how this, since you obviously designed this, do you know how it's supposed to work?
I was not the one that designed it, actually. We were given this blueprint to work with. He told us to make a long cylindrical iron barrel of sorts, and we made it. We put some etchings in there. Well, I'd say we. It was mostly him. And, we sent it back, just as they asked.
Maybe, Rosalind, try casting a spell in it of sorts. Just anything. Just like a...
No slots left.
Well, then, how about a cantrip?
I mean, the only cantrip I have to throw in there at this point is Guidance, Mending, Dying, and Thaumaturgy.
Why not try one of those? Let's see what happens.
Try one of them, yeah.
Yeah. It is at least harmless, at most harmful.
I guess I'll Thaumaturgy. I don't know what's gonna happen, but...
Where are you aiming it?
I'm assuming, like, we're outside, so there's like either a tree line or mountain or something around us, right?
It's mostly open rolling hills where you guys are, but yeah, you could probably find a tree along the hills
Poor
and
cabbage
stuff.
man.
My cabbages!
I guess I'll aim
Not my cabbages.
Alright, what are you trying to get Thaumaturgy to do?
just make...
Make big boom.
Because there's a lot that Thaumaturgy can do. It can cause gusts of wind, it can cause your voice to boom louder, it can cause a lot of things.
Oh, it doesn't say anything about wind, it just says earth.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of,
You're thinking prestidigitation.
yeah, I'm thinking of that.
Or druidcraft. One or the
at
other.
this point,
There's
I
a
guess
lot
I'll
of
just-
utility spells, okay?
Spells, freaking cantrips,
Um,
man.
I can make a sound as thunder, to act like Thunder's hitting the tree.
Yeah, I just need to know which one you're wanting it to cast basically a thunderous boom at the tree.
Yeah.
All right.
This was so cool.
So, as you pull the stifle shot up and you start trying to cast your cantrip as you normally would, and you're doing like the hand motions, like kind of obviously, you know, not as well, but it while holding the rifle at your target, you notice the etchings on the barrel start glowing and lighting up. And as it glows and lights up from the hilt going towards the barrel, you notice a little thump come out the end. And as it comes out the end, a little white ball shoots off towards the tree. And go ahead and roll me Dex real quick.
Dex. I have no Dex. God damn it. I got 10. Why
10?
do you hate me, dice?
I mean, it's a stationary tree.
Yeah, it is a
How
stationary
bad could
tree.
you-
The
how
thing
bad could
is,
you miss?
the thing is, the base AC for a lot of things is basically 10. So just keep that in mind.
it.
Plus, it's a tree, so you can pretty much hit that.
Armor class of this tree.
Anyways,
Is it a 20?
as you shoot it, you feel this little thump as it comes out, and the light like bursts out, and then it comes back in, and it dies, and all the etchings fade out. As the white orb just gets sent, you guys hear a thunderous like bang come out of it, but it's obviously not directed in your location. It is directed way over at the tree.
Ooh, this is a cool gun. I can't cast any spells though.
All this might come in handy for future. Definitely.
Wonder what happens if you shoot healing with it.
You just want me to be Anna. Which means I have to cast inflict wounds into it and shoot that next.
Ooh, that would be cool. Oh man, this would be kind of cool. Level 5 cat. Oh my god, this changes the game, honestly.
I'm just saying, one of the spells worked. You don't know if all of them are going to.
Yeah.
So,
Guiding bolt, lightning.
but there wouldn't be a need for it, I feel like. But I mean, but if you want to flex, I guess. I don't know.
Does this double the range for guiding bolt?
Oh my gosh. But as you do that, you see Ladoran look at the tree, and he looks back at the gun, and he's like, "Can I see that?"
Sure. I guess I'll hand him the gun.
As you hand him the gun, he like starts looking over the etchings and stuff, and he goes in his back pocket and he pulls out a little notebook that he got from Trelio's room, and he starts looking through the notebook, and he looks at the etchings, and he looks through the notebook some more, and he looks at the etchings, and he just goes, "I don't see his signature in here, but did a good job, I guess. Anyways, I guess you have yourself a fine little weapon there. I can't really help you anymore with it. I just know the man that helped me make the barrel.
And who was this man?
He had an interesting name. It was not of common tongues, and he was not a common being.
Okay. Yeah.
So, I would try to reproduce it, but it will come out awfully wrong, and he would probably...
And you'd probably die in the process.
I might summon a demon or two, yes.
Jesus Christ! What a gun versus something. I feel like you should have a baseline stronger than that.
Hey, I don't speak his
Literally, like,
language.
Hey,
I don't-
it might be a great weapon. Or it might summon hellfire upon you.
It may cause the apocalypse or a band-aid.
Oh, look at that! The Four Horsemen? How did you get here?
Hey
Oh.
guys. Very
You can't
cute
say
of
that
to
you'll
come.
be let down, though. I mean,
True, it will be eventful.
No matter what, you'll get something out of it.
But he looks at you, he's like, I dare not speak his name because if he would have heard me try to pronounce it, he would definitely probably give me a slap on the wrist at the very least.
Oh, well, at least at the very least, more than anything. But yes. Anyway, I'm going to go rest inside this cart.
With all the parts in it?
Might as well try to get comfy. Look, I'm a little limpy right now. You know what? I'll just sit on a horse. Be great.
It'd be
It'll be fine.
It's fine.
It'll be great.
It's like whatever. It's not like my leather-coated interior that I have back home, but whatever.
It's not my coach, but it's not my first class, but I'll take it.
Yes.
I'm gonna be cheeky and use my final wild shape to turn into a weasel, and I'm gonna like weave my way into the cart so I can have a long rest.
How long does wild shape last?
Oh, 3 hours.
Long rest
Oh,
requires usually 8.
Never mind. I said nothing.
Oh, I will hold you
I
for
am
2
not
and
here.
2 and
I am
2
an
and-
illusion. I'm not here.
I'm just imagining Galaxy going in as a weasel, and then 3 hours are up, turns into Galaxy Gun, and all the parts
Booms.
go
Yep.
slowing
That's
down.
gonna definitely happen.
I was gonna say he'd be really cramped. Oh my gosh. So, I mean, you can still do it if you want.
No, I'm good.
All right,
Go
so
on, honestly, I'll be quiet.
I'm just saying, man. I'm doing it for your safety, man. As you guys do finally load up all the parts and the cart seems to be under a decent amount of stress, there's only enough space for probably 2 people on the back, 2 people on the horses themselves, and then obviously 2 people at the front, you know, manning the horses. So the rest would have to either walk or sit on top of the parts. So there'd be enough for you guys and obviously 2 more, essentially. Which 2 are you allowing to ride with you?
My vote is for probably the 2 brothers.
Yeah.
Alright. Hana, Gabriella.
I'm going to just be leaning on the cart, but like still like keeping up this performance of like my ankle.
Jump in the cart.
Alright, you're on the back, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Alright. So are you walking this way then? This whole trip, Gabriella?
I really wouldn't prefer it. You know what? I need to rest my ankle. You know, I've fallen. I could barely get up.
Help,
Yeah,
I've
I'll-
fallen and I can't get up. Life alert.
Ladoran alert.
The alert is there. But yeah, wait. Where did everyone else go?
So they're all riding so far, and they were discussing who they were gonna let ride, essentially.
Well, I have a broken ankle. So
Yes,
I-
we've heard.
So I will take the front.
All right,
Just
beautiful.
like your name.
I was gonna say I know 2 things: broken ankle and Gabriella.
And don't forget, she doesn't like her father either.
I'm assuming I'm driving the cart.
Yeah, you've been driving most of the time, so I'm gonna go ahead and assume that you're driving. As you guys all get on the cart, Ladoran and Trelio, I guess, take the horse because Hana is on the back. Where are you, Galax?
I don't know.
Do you want to ride a horse or do you want to ride in the back? Because Gabriella and Rosalind are in the carrot, like the cab part, sort of.
I'll walk alongside and just keep watch.
All right.
Please don't put the lizard lady in the cart. Please don't.
Oh no, that bitch is walking. If she's gonna have an attitude, she can think about what she's done on her 2 damn.
Well, the thing is, Hana's in the back, so she's not sitting in the back with Hana. Remember that. So as you guys all get on, Ladoran and Trelio both get on the horses, and you see that elf kind of come up and sit next to Hana, and he looks over, and he kind of looks down at you, Hana, and he just goes, "So, you come around these parts often? Lovely weather we're having, right?"
And I just kind of growl.
Anna, be nice. He was the nice one out of the 3 rescued from the shield.
Oh, sorry.
He looks at you and he goes, "Ah."
I kind of chuckle and cozy up next to him and try to get some sleep.
He looks at her and he just goes, "All right, well that's fair enough, I guess." And
Yeah, she's
you,
a bit like a rabid dog. But,
her hair and everything is about the same, you know.
If you just scratch the back part of her neck, she'll be fine.
All right. So as you guys continue and you leave the cave, and Trelio and Ladoran in tow, Trelio does look back at his cave and he looks over at you and Gabriella and Rosalind, and he just goes, "I'm gonna have to be able to come back here eventually to get my stuff."
Yes, of course. We'll set up everything you need.
All right. Before we get there, I gotta ask, who all is currently staying at the keep?
We got some dead guys.
Us and various.
Living creature-wise, you would be kind of staring at us.
Living creature-wise? He looks at you and goes, "Excuse me?"
We have some spirit friends. You'll meet one of the spirit friends.
All right.
Oh,
I
just
guess
realized something.
I will learn when we get there then.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's something you'll see more than understand.
It's gonna be easier to explain when you see it rather than us trying to tell you now.
It's gonna be easier to explain that everybody is undead here when you see it. Not gonna be a shock at all.
We told you about these guys. Why are you so shocked?
Tell you, but I feel like you wouldn't believe us.
All right.
Agreed.
Well, journey on then, I guess. And as you guys continue down the pathway to go back to Nightshade Keep, it is a little early, but I feel like we could end it there because I don't want Kyo to miss stuff for once. So
Yeah.
as you guys do travel down, it's obviously probably becoming, deeper into the night, but it's not too deep, it's probably about midnight, I would say. Literally like about midway through the night, and everybody's able to get a nice rest in. You guys have a bunch of people just following you to the keep now. One's magical, one is scaly, one is iron-ish, and then you have the two dwarven brothers. So yeah, I think that's a good place to end it. I hope you guys had a wonderful time. I hope.
I had a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh.
Is that a long rest, Lucid? So that we can...
I would say you guys would be able
8
to.
hours.
Yeah. It should.
I'm gonna
It's usually like
short
6, I
rest.
believe. It's usually 6, I believe. 4 to 6
Thanks
for
for
the.
elves. It is, or no. Actually, a long rest for elves isn't that shorter? Like it's like 4.
No. So the long rest for elves is that they can trance during it instead of sleeping.
I'm walking outside the car, so I can't sleep. Haha.
So the elves don't have shorter long rests. It's just that they can trance instead of sleep, essentially, which is like a meditative state. But it's still like the fact of the matter is that like you can take a long rest without sleeping, essentially. Anyways, you're taking a short rest, you said, instead of a long one.
Yep.
I'll take whatever rest I can get.
You would be able to take a long rest, but Hana, if you're taking a short rest, you're gonna take an exhaustion point for being up for 24 hours, I believe.
Wait, do I have time to take a long rest?
Everybody else is.
Oh, okay.
I'm not. I'm the
Well,
only
then,
one
yeah,
that can't.
I'm taking
so
it. No, I'm
not.
taking.
Yeah,
a long
because
rest.
he's
Yeah,
walking
I'm taking a
alongside.
long
So you would be taking an exhaustion point, Galax,
Yep,
just
no
so you
worries.
know. All right, but with that,
rest.
that should be the end of the session. So thank you all so much for coming out.
Help!
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 Dude,
Super fun. I
Dude.
enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. By the way, Galax, you can probably, I'll say you can take a short rest if you're just walking, by the way. So you can recover health with like, I think you roll your D8? Is it a D8 or a D10 for your class? It's whatever your class is. You can roll that for a health regain during a
It's D10
short
for
rest.
druids.
Okay, so
Nah,
you,
I'm
I think you
amazing.
can
I'm
roll
not
up to
gonna do
6
any of that.
D10 and regain that much of health there. So just so you know. But other than that though, guys, thank you so much for coming out and playing D&D for us today, even though it was like literally like all talking, I guess.
I mean, we had like 4 battles.
You
over the
did have a
span of,
lot
like,
of battles.
Two D&D episodes.
So, and I apologize for not uploading the last one. I literally was sitting here, was it yesterday? No, it was 2 days ago, and I was like, did I upload D&D? And Keo's like, I thought you did. I was like, all right, cool. I was just like, I just believed
Are you
him.
trusting me on this one?
Thanks. And on that
mean-
note,
Listen, I just needed one confirmation, and I was like, all right, cool. So it's still my fault, 100%. But like, I did not look. I'll be uploading
Yeah,
both of
yeah.
the episodes on Wednesday though, so no worries there. I just need to do that essentially. But before we go, Keo, since you don't normally get to do it, would you like to talk about your channel?
we're going through a bit of a change
No.
right now, and I'm just gonna be doing some stuff. I don't really know about the channel right now, so go follow everyone else instead for right now.
Jesus, Keo, you can still follow you goober, even if you're doing
Yeah, man, your
changes.
socials.
Jesus,
yeah.
you stinky.
If you feel like it.
if you feel like it, it's not like
You are
necessary,
one, I
like
guess.
just
That's
a
cool,
little
man.
something quirky or just
Yeah.
Oh my
I
gosh.
don't know. Go follow everyone else.
Oh my gosh.
will
Angry, what about you,
See y'all
man?
later. Thanks for the fun games.
My name.
Dude, no
See you
worries,
later,
Keo. I hope you have a wonderful day, dude.
Bye.
Like, yo.
Bye.
What about you, Angry?
Hi, hello. Yeah, I was
Angry
the guy that turned off his
face.
camera 4 different times. I play Galax. I'm an idiot, as you can tell. Out of character as well as in character. But I stream on Twitch. I've recently been doing a lot of things that aren't actually directly aimed at the channel, but I've been doing some stuffs, and I really
Some
appreciate. Yeah, some stuffs. But I really appreciate being a part of the campaign again, and I can't wait for next week.
Hell yeah.
I won't be here.
Yeah, we won't be doing it next week because Azzy does have work.
The week after. That's
Wait,
next session.
wait! I
alright?
just looked today.
Next
No worries, no worries.
I'll be busy anyway. I think next week is my birth weekend.
It is your birthday.
I think.
No, it's my birth weekend. So I celebrate 3 days a weekend.
Pog, let's
3
go.
days a week.
Azzy, why don't you talk about your channel real quick?
My name is Azzy or Azrael. I play Rosalind in this. I am a variety streamer on Twitch.
I've done a gap.
Last playing no game.
Weird.
I took a long break this entire week away from Twitch, and yesterday was the first day I've been on Twitch at all in about a week and a half. So hopefully I'll get back to streaming soon. I don't know what I'll be streaming yet, but
We all just have one channel, and we're just all rotating when we feel like streaming. That's what it really is.
Oh my gosh.
But,
I
like,
love
I
it.
completely got off of Twitch for a while, and I've just been playing a lot of games like League. I
Dude,
got people addicted to it, and now that's all they play. And me and Justin are like, please, Apex, please just let us play Apex.
dude, so many people have been playing League. It's ridiculous. I can't play the game, so I'm
will
just
say
like,
side
nah.
note, I've seen so many like previous like top 500 like GM Overwatch players are now playing League, and they're like in silver and gold in League, and I'm just like, oh, so the skills don't transfer over.
No, it's an FPS to a MOBA.
Yeah, no, I was like, huh, now I feel less bad being the rank that I am.
Oh my gosh. How about you talk about your channel real quick, Flip?
Hi, I'm Flip Legit. I play Gabriella Blackwood. No relation. But yeah, no, I stream here on Twitch,
Yep.
usually first-person shooters. But I've been recently doing League, which I got addicted to somehow. But yeah, no, I have fun on my channel. I'm now streaming Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays. So I'll be actually streaming tonight in a couple of hours, which will be fun. And yeah, I hope y'all.
What are you
will be
streaming
able to-
tonight?
Yeah. Anyway, so.
Dude. Stream Knockout City.
Is it free?
Yeah, it's free for
Yes.
like the first week and a half.
Maybe.
I'm a god at that game, by the way. I just want to put that one.
Okay,
Well, are you gonna be
dude.
able to join me, God?
No, he's probably gonna have to go to sleep here soon.
You're gonna have
I
to
got
sleep.
work in the morning.
I
can't.
know.
Right, next week I got 5 days and then I got a week off.
But yeah.
Wait,
actually,
why do you
next
get a
Sunday,
week
my-
off?
Oh, school holiday.
That's a
Oh,
week. That's
Wait.
not a day. That's a hollow week.
Did I say week or day?
you said a
It's
week.
holiday.
Well, you said you said it's a week off for a holiday.
Yeah. School
But a
holiday.
week off for a holiday. Are days and weeks different in British?
What holiday is it? Is my question.
It's half term.
Oh,
What?
This is like a spring break or something.
Oh, half
or
term.
winter break.
Okay, okay. Midterm. Got
Okay.
it. Got it.
Yeah.
We have it. Dude, that is ridiculous how many terms we literally just have different. Like, literally. Like, do you guys send midterm reports or something out? Or half-term reports?
Yeah. So
Does it say half-term on
Is
there?
a cuck.
no, it will just say term or like the term it is and then report. So like
Okay.
like
You have
spring
like
report or whatever, spring term report.
Yeah,
Christmas
because they always...
December, whatever you, yeah.
The reason I ask is that, like, we always, when it was, like, halfway through the term, it would always say, midterm report, here you go. And I'm just like, oh, okay. And that's why I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's why, like, in my brain, I was like, wait, what? And I was like, it broke a little bit. Anyways,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If you guys, if you
Yeah,
guys,
where it's like your child is slowly becoming a dick, and then just here you are, ma'am.
oh my gosh, dude. I actually, I don't know if I ever got a report from my teacher now that I think about it in high school. I think my teachers liked me. They liked my brother more,
I
but
brown nose, so they wouldn't tell on me, and then
Dude.
I blackmailed them.
the thing is that they liked my brother more, and every time I was in a class with my teacher, they're like, you're nothing like your brother. I was just like, yeah, we're two separate beings. And they're like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's
don't
called
worry.
Individuality, you bitch.
And they're like, oh, don't worry, I don't mean that in a rude way. I was like, oh yeah, sure you didn't. Yeah, that was a fun
My
time.
favorite, come here, honey.
No, my brother was definitely like a teacher's pet, like 100%, like no cap, and
Like, was he
that's
good in
fine.
school, or was he?
Oh yeah, we both had really good grades. I think I had like a 3.7. My brother had a 4.0 though. So
What?
GPAs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The 3%.
Agree.
Wait, do you guys go by GPAs?
I don't know.
It's like the high 4.0 is like is the highest grading level,
Yeah.
essentially.
So
It's like
essentially,
the
F is
perfect
0, D is 1, C is a 2, B is 3, A is 4.
And then if you
Kind-
do any of the
kind-
colleges,
Yeah, we have.
you
Yeah,
can
our system.
score. Or I think they do
get
like
level 4.
wait, are y'all doing that system where it's just like needs improve or like not living up to potential or some shit like that?
No, that's life. In
Okay.
I love
So
that.
we went from a grade system to like like
A, B, C, D, E,
A,
yeah.
B, C, blah, blah, blah. And then
Yeah.
we've gone to a number system that's 1 to 9. But
What the
instead
fuck?
of instead of it being like 1 being the highest, it's 9. And it's really weird because like I think 9 to 7 is like A star, and then
9 to 7?
yeah, and then it works. So like you got a low A, a high A, and then an A star. So 7 being a low A, 8 being a high A, and then 9 being a.
So like A minus A. And
Also,
then
A star.
It must be an A plus.
It's like
Yeah.
top 1%, dude. Like
That's what I'm saying. Like, is that just what our A plus is,
Do you
or
have
like?
an A star in
no,
your
A
class,
star
or
is like 1 mark off the entire, like getting everything right.
Okay.
Like it's literally like you're probably being like thinking for being a nerd. I'm not gonna lie. Like like that is that. deep,
sorry.
I'm gonna be honest.
Uh huh. Interesting.
Yeah, it's essentially A star is essentially you got like everything.
Yeah, it's
Which,
perfect
funnily
score.
enough, in history I got one of those and I was really happy.
I think the only class that I actually had an A plus in was my computers class, like my graphics class, because graphics design is my passion, you know. And have you seen Meowie?
Anyway, we're ending stream.
Oh my gosh, but yeah, we are going to be ending stream. I'll probably hop back in the Discord after a while. So if you if you got anything that you guys
kindly fuck off.
would like to talk about before I go and give chat a send off, please let me know. But
Lucid hit 1K followers. Woo!
He did hit 1K followers. Now he's gonna punch them all in the face. as
wow,
delicious.
what? Now we're just gonna commit a
How
felony.
did that escalate to violence
You
here?
punch that like button. Like, you punch
Helicopter, I don't know. Oh my gosh. But guys, thank you all so much for a fun session. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed messing around with Ladoran and Trelio today, and the 3 that appeared today. So yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your days and hopefully a wonderful week until next time, guys. But yeah, I will get both the episodes up on Wednesday as well, so I promise. But have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Promise, bye.